Gentlemen, you are watching the Potsy and Tino show.
It's the Potsy and Tino show. Talk the facts and let opinions blow. Laughs, hot takes, and maybe a rant. Two best buds with a mic and a plan.
I like how both of us bob our head as it's playing this song.
Oh, you can still see me?
I said I love how both of us are just bobbing our head along to the song.
Oh,
Ladies and gentlemen,
I guess you can still see me. They can't see what I'm doing.
ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, the Pots and Pans Network brings you its tag team champions of the world for the 446th episode of the Potsy and Tino show. As always, that is Tino Gray. I am Rob Potsy Potchak. I already have something up here, and I don't want that up there. I want this up there. Tino, what's that?
Here I is.
It's like he just got a computer with a webcam for the first time. We always start the show off with a segment called "What's Up with You." So, sir, I will throw it over to you. Oh, by the way, I couldn't find the NXT results from last week, so if you can pull those up after you talk, that's fine.
Yeah, I'm happy to be alive. Because remember Nicole had that shit last week?
Oh, it hit you this week, huh?
This weekend, dude. I was like Saturday. I was like, we ate dinner and shit, watching TV. And then, I just got, it's almost like the bubble gut, but it was like a cramp, like right up in your upper weight. It's like a cramp. I'm like, I got shit. So
like a 100-pound cramp.
Yeah. So I sat down. I'm like, it's not coming. And it was hurting. It's not coming. I'm like, and it was like, I hate to be rude, nasty, but it's just farting. It's just air. But all of a sudden, that metallic taste, the cold sweat. I'm like, oh no. And then when it came out that end, then my asshole said, wait for me. So then it started coming out. So yeah, dude, all day yesterday, I was so scared to eat. I had Nicole say, can you just bring me maybe, I was hungry. I'm like, but I don't want to. I said, just bring me a piece of toast, like with butter on it. Maybe I ate that hit my stomach. My stomach said, no, bitch. I'm like, oh no. So I was trying to drink to try to, and water to try to stay hydrated. But every time something hit my stomach, I was like, oh. So yeah, all day yesterday. And finally today, partly of the day, I lost what, 5-6 pounds. But I hate losing it.
It's all water though.
It's gonna come right back. That's what Nicole said, is because she was for days, she lost about damn near 10, but it's like, well, once you start eating again, it's just gonna come back. Even if you don't eat bad, you just start eating it, anything, it'll come back. But I'm like,
well, it's really as soon as you hydrate again, because again, most of that's just gonna be water.
But I wouldn't wish that on my worst enemy. And it's like and here's the funny part. So I took care of Nicole. She got sick. All she could do was grab the trash can. I went in with some gloves and cleaned everything, took stuff out, put in the trash bag, Cloroxed the trash can out, washed it, make sure she was good. You need anything. The difference is my lovely bride doesn't do throw up. So I'm in the bathroom. She goes, oh, you need anything? You need me to breathe? I'm like, come on, drink. She goes, oh,
she's long arming you.
Yeah, and she's like, I don't know what you're doing. And she's like, give me anything else. Like I had to clean up my own, like out the trash can. I had to clean that all myself because she can't do it. She'll throw up. Well, my favorite story is years ago. You were still. I know you were in Durham. I don't know if you were in your house.
My old house.
Married. Yeah. Or if you were back when you were living with Fubar and Derek. But we were watching a pay-per-view. Nicole was pregnant with Matthew. So it was 2009. So where were you in 2009?
Wow, yeah.
You remember where you were living?
2009.
You with Shane and Shorty yet? You were living in Durham.
That was probably I was probably living in off Cayman. Still, I was probably living at my house at that point.
Yeah, but I remember going. Matt, she was pregnant with Matthew, and I went all the way to Durham to your house to watch the pay-per-view, and Haley got sick and threw up, and Nicole called me.
And you drove all the way home.
Remember that? And I drove all the way back, and I got back, and my father-in-law was here cleaning the shit. I'm like, he lives like 5-6 minutes away. Why? Because I didn't think you were gonna come. No, it's protective. If you're sick, you know good and hell well I'm coming home.
Well, and hell, you know, the last time that like one of us just even felt a little bit ill and we were supposed to get together for one of those things, it was like, don't come over. And then and then both of us ended up getting sick somehow anyway.
Yep.
I remember the one time you came over during the middle of COVID, you came over. And in the middle of it, because you were like, no, we're good. The next day, you call me up and go, I feel so bad. Nicole's got COVID. And I'm like, and this was when like the contact tracing stuff was like massive. You had to, you yourself had to quarantine for like 7 days because someone you knew had gotten it.
Yeah.
And I was like, well, if I don't get any symptoms, I'm not going to care.
I did. I felt back. So like, all right, we're good. And then she's like, she woke up the next day. I'm like, fuck. And I was like, because you know you got to call people. It's kind of like STD. You got to call people that you've been around. And I was like, well, I didn't go anywhere. Oh fuck, I went to Rob's.
and it was literally like the day before.
Yeah.
And then the next day she's showing symptoms, and it's like,
Yeah.
fuck.
But you never got it though, did you?
I did end up getting COVID once, and
but not that time.
Not that time. No. I like because I think it's because I had like a major release at GameStop because GameStop claimed that they were essential business, so they had to be open during the whole thing. It was either that or we were getting ready to go to. I think it might have been that, or it might have been my sister, my brother-in-law, and I were going to Disney. And it was right when they only opened it up to like 25% of the people, and everything that they were at, like everywhere you went, it's have you had any symptoms in 14 days? Have you known anybody? And it's like, no. and then you call me like 3 days before the trip, and I'm like, if I'm not showing symptoms, I'm going.
That shit was fun. Well, the two of the time I've had it 3 times. 2 of the times I had it, I'm like, I swear, I'm like, Nicole, your mom's trying to kill me. Because the first time I got it, her mom and her stepdad had come for Thanksgiving. And her mom was like, you're sick. And she's like, oh, I just thought it was, she never went to the doctor to get it checked out. So yeah, everybody got COVID for Thanksgiving. And then the second time I got it is when we went up for Nicole's grandmother's 90th birthday. So that's about 2-3 years ago. In New York, we were all together. Her mom like coughing and shit. We're like, you all right? Yeah, I just think it's a cold. Heifer had COVID. So that's 2 times. And then I caught it. So I'm like, your mother's trying to take me out. What the fuck? No, I don't need balloons. No balloons for COVID.
Balloons for that. You get balloons.
Stop it. Stop it right now.
I remember about 3 months before COVID was even a thing. Okay. So we're talking like early December. And, because like March was when everything shut down.
About March, April of 2020,
and Mr. Helios, our friend and loved one in the audience, he sat there and got really, really, really sick. And when COVID became a thing, he was like, I think I had it 4 months ago.
That's what Michael Turner was just saying. He got it in that December before anybody called it COVID.
So, Tino, my week was fine. For some reason, I'm having a lot of trouble getting to sleep at a decent hour.
You using your CPAP?
Oh, of course. But it's like I'm not even feeling tired until like midnight, and then it's like So I know that you got a couple text messages from me super late. One we'll actually talk about because I mentioned it I think last week and you didn't believe me, and now you're seeing it and started even posting videos or reposting videos to me about it. But like one of the things I did this week, because that I bought this really nice computer or gaming chair, right? And that's what I'm sitting in right now. But I sweat like ungodly amounts when I sit in this chair.
It's so stupid. Well, not only do you sweat, I've never met this. You're allergic to your own sweat, so that's
I am, and it causes rashes in weird parts of my body, like on my ankles. It like if I don't wash my face multiple times a day, the crow's feet area of my eyes, if anything's leaking out of it at all, like it just develops like a rash right there. So I mean,
wow.
yeah, it can be really bad, and it's weird because I've got pretty clear skin, except for this god darn zit right here, right under my nose. So when I put my CPAP on, I think this is why I've been having problems. Because this thing's busted open at this point.
Mm.
So like when I put the thing on my nose for the CPAP and I move it all during the night, it pushes my nose and suddenly I've got like a sharp pain going through my face.
Yeah.
I bought what's supposed to be a USB powered seating cushion for your car, but I'm sitting on it right now. And it was like $25 on Amazon.
What is it? Seating cushion. So what is it? Just make your
it's like air conditioned seats in your car.
Ah.
And I was like, if it works and it works nice, I'm gonna buy one for the car. Because I've got heated seats in my car, but I don't have air conditioned seats. And we're getting ready to have probably I'm already calling it. We're gonna have a horrible summer this year, like in terms of heat. Because we had such a cold winter for so long this year. We got more snow than we have had in years.
I know I'm not looking forward to it because I hate summer because I don't like the sweat. I'm not allergic to sweat. I just don't like the sweat. I don't like being hot. Matter of fact, I tell
sweating to begin with, but yeah,
I hate summer because of the heat and because of snakes. And I tell everybody this. I was going to go meet you, and I forget what we were doing. I think I was going to meet you, and I got dressed and everything. I opened the front door, and there was a copperhead on the front door right there on the front porch. So I just closed the door, got undressed, and called him. I'm not coming. So my friend said, another friend, you could have gone out the back door. No.
Could have went out the garage. Could have anything.
I got undressed. I'm like, I'm not coming.
I mean, I guess you could look at that as a bad omen of sorts, right? I will say this. It's one thing I like about having the outdoor cats. Because they will bring dead snakes up to your front door all the time. And it's like, look what I did.
Got a present for you.
And that's just it. What's funny is even though I've got the food dishes and everything out in front of my house for the little orange tabby, my neighbor, I guess, is the one that the cat likes more because she comes and picks the cat up, sometimes lets the cat run through her house for a couple minutes before putting her back outside.
Well, you can't do that.
No, I know, because I'm like, if I'm allergic to my own sweat, I am deathly allergic to cats. And it's funny because you know what I'm not allergic to. You know what I'm not allergic to?
Dogs.
I am not allergic to poison ivy.
The fuck does that work?
maybe all my sweat glands are keeping all the other really nasty shit away from me. I don't know, but I'm well, at least as of like 5 years ago when my brother-in-law Shane had it all over his arms, I am not allergic to it.
Well, so I'm calling you.
I'm not pulling it. I'm not. I'm not a death-defying daredevil here. I'm not.
Come on, man.
That's like oh, I'm not allergic to bees. Oh, let me go grab this hornet's nest. Fuck that.
No. So other than that, man, I'm like, I hope the fucking God it's not hot this summer like that.
Well, I mean, shit. Like, what's the weather like today? We're having like monsoon thunderstorms, and
yeah, I'm looking at my window now, watching these trees and everything sway. I'm like, yeah, something's gonna hit my house.
Yeah, like my house is brick, so I normally don't have to worry too much. But like today, I come upstairs and I'm like, it sounds like a tornado could just run through here.
That's what they were calling for.
Well, they were calling for those in Raleigh. I don't know if they were in Durham, but I mean, you know, because a tornado, it just matters where they call it. If they say it's going to hit Raleigh, all of the trailer parks in Raleigh will be gone tomorrow.
Shut up.
Dude, they always hit trailer parks. You know, I think tornadoes are actually the original drone strike because it's amazing at how they could just take out one house.
Fucking drone strike. Go hit that trailer park.
It's gonna be the biggest trailer park to ever be hit.
There's other remote control like this.
Let me push the button. I want to push the buttons. So yeah, not too much else going on with me. I
can't find the Bleacher Report, so I might just do a regular one.
Yeah, dude, I don't think Bleacher Report has the results for NXT on it from last week. I think they just forgot.
And I went because I think you messaged me and said something about all the old WWE stuff is now moved to YouTube. And I'm like, I went to Peacock. All they had was NXT stuff. I'm like, fuck. So I went to the YouTube channel, and that's where they put everything there. I'm like, man.
You know, that needs to be another banner. Hold on.
Oh, yeah. Did you get the thing I sent you about the WWE and ESPN stuff?
Oh, I did, but I don't know if I believe that just yet, because every time WWE has a PLE, it is the first thing you see on Disney Plus. And they're still advertising hour number 1 for WrestleMania for both nights. It's going to be on ESPN2 and ESPN.
Well, I wonder if they're just going to do it through this year, and then next year, you know what I mean? They're like, not. You know what I mean?
What do you mean?
So like this year they'll finish out whatever content and try to break it next year, because SummerSlam's too close for them to try to find a new home for them now.
Oh, they're what is it, a 5-year deal that they signed with ESPN?
So you don't think they'll break it? ESPN will be like,
well, I didn't hear most of that because some noise came through your microphone.
You don't think that ESPN will be like, well, no, I guess they'll breach a contract. They can sue them.
Yeah, the only thing I can think there is that they would have to figure out a way to say that TKO breached the contract to get out of it, because Disney ain't paying $300 million a year or whatever to not show anything. And
true.
I mean, you know, and we can talk about that a little bit, actually. Yeah. The entire thing with them, because and you know, this will lead us to what we're watching anyway, but the ESPN and WWE deal, like, Dave Meltzer could sit there and say that it's not working for one side or the other all he wants to. The fact is that the only thing that should worry either of those sides right now is that there are millions of people that thought that they were not going to pay any extra for the ESPN on their cable provider. And right now, there's only like 2 cable providers that are offering it for free. So
remember, when it first came out, remember, because I have YouTube TV, and you and I were talking about that. I'm like, okay, they said YouTube TV, but then that never came to fruition either.
Yeah, and in fact, I think that right after that deal got set, that's when ABC wasn't on YouTube for a while.
Mm-hmm.
So it's interesting, and it's difficult to say what's going to happen there, because that is the way that you get out of the contract. You have to settle on this class action lawsuit with all of these millions of people, and suddenly that $1 billion deal doesn't feel like a safe deal for anybody. Now, at the same time, WWE right now, they want their product being seen, right? So I can't see them not being a friendly partner with ESPN. Like one of the things that I read was that WWE is forcing Pat McAfee to have wrestlers on his show. And that wouldn't be WWE doing that. That would be ESPN doing that, because ESPN is the one that pays both of them.
Yeah.
You know, like I can't see Stephen A. Smith having Roman Reigns on his show if Stephen A. Smith doesn't think this guy's going to get eyeballs on the show. And I would think that the two of them at ESPN probably have creative say over what actually hits their airwaves. McAfee, I know, does, because he's on regular ESPN and he's dropping F-bombs. You know, and I mean that's a fine every time he does it on regular ESPN. So, and he's doing it at like 2:00 in the afternoon. It's not, you know, it's not like, oh, we'll do it at 11 o'clock at night when USA can get away with that too. No, it's, you know, so I don't see, and by the way, most of the actual reporting that you hear about any problems between WWE and their TV partners is like the Wrestling Observer. It is Dave Meltzer talking about it, and we know whose ass he basically licks. I mean,
the young folks.
Just as two members of the elitist of the elite, if you will.
Elite.
I think that people are saying that, and yeah, there probably are people inside ESPN that aren't happy with the deal, but they're probably not happy with their Disney Plus subscribers right now either. And this is after they just absorbed Hulu into it. So I mean, if you had all those people on Hulu just say, well, fuck it, I'm getting rid of Hulu, Disney just lost another 11 million subscribers or whatever it was, you know? So the ESPN, but the $30 a month, and I don't think enough people actually took advantage of getting all three of those services for $30 a month when it's being offered. You know, it's kind of like the Peacock and Apple TV one that I just updated to. Like, Apple TV was $13.99 a month. Peacock was $13.99 a month. That's $28 a month, but I get both of them commercial free for $20 a month together. So I mean, why wouldn't I do that?
I'm gonna have to look into doing that, matter of fact.
And from what
I don't anything on Apple TV though, so I mean,
what's that?
I don't really watch Apple TV, and
I think if you started watching any of the shows from Apple TV that I tell you to, you'd be hooked on Apple TV.
I might start looking. Yeah.
I mean, most of the Bill Lawrence shows are on there. So
I was looking. Michael Turner said he got a new tattoo last week, and you know I'm all about the tats. So what'd you get, Michael Turner?
Yeah, Michael, what you get?
So while
you can't go showing us, but
so TV watching while he's doing that. Let's see. Tracker. I watched the tracker where the kid was making the fake IDs. Was that last week or was that a week before?
I think that was last week. I have not watched this week's episode of Tracker yet.
And Watson's the one where it ended up she was she told them they were eating. Yeah, she told them they were eating snow wolves and they were really eating their parents.
And then it turned out that she got Kuru from it.
Yeah. Yeah. A scorpion tattoo. Oh, cool.
It's Sting.
So that, of course, I've been watching my NCISs, my Matlock, my Elsbeth. I finished Jessica Jones.
Both seasons?
Yep.
Okay.
I finished it. I started watching
back next Tuesday.
I know. I started watching because you know how they do like, okay, next. I was going to watch Luke Cage, but I'm watching The Defenders because it's like one season, it's 8 episodes. So I'm in episode 4 of that. I'm just trying to find shit until Daredevil comes back, you know.
Oh, absolutely.
And I might watch Luke Cage. I was asking Matthew, I said, have you watched Iron Fist? He said, yeah, Dad, don't watch it. He said, you remember when we watched You remember when we watched the Daredevil movie with Ben Affleck? I'm like, yeah. And you remember how bad that was? I'm like, yeah. He said Iron Fist, the show's worse than that. I'm like, oh fuck.
I can't. No, I don't agree with that. And in fact, you know what? That's a lot of the haterade that's been poured out on that one. I
Iron
like
Fist?
Vin Jones. What's that?
Haterade on Iron Fist?
Yeah, there's a lot of on Iron Fist. I personally liked it more than Jessica Jones, but then again, I wasn't a huge Jessica Jones fan. But
I never heard of it. I just wanted to watch it to see what it was about. It ended up catching my interest.
yeah, so I think you'll actually enjoy it. And the way that you're actually supposed to watch the series is you watch Daredevil season 1, then you watch Jessica Jones, then you watch Luke Cage, then you watch Daredevil season 2, then you watch Iron Fist, then you watch Jessica Jones season 2, Luke Cage season 2, then you watch Defenders, and then you watch Daredevil season 3.
Man, I got time for that.
No,
watched all.
but that's the order that they actually came out in, so that's the order they should be watched in. I get you're just going to watch the ones that you want to watch. You know, it's kind of like when you're watching the Arrowverse and you're sitting there going, should I really waste my time on Supergirl and Flash and you know, and there's parts of it where you should. Like if you're watching Arrow, you should definitely watch the episodes that correspond with any of the crossover episodes.
Yeah, because I was watching Supergirl and they did a couple of crossovers. I'm like, oh fuck, I'm not going to go watch that one. But I am going to go back and watch Smallville at some point in time.
You know, I've been thinking the same thing. It's a 10-season series, and
Damn, I forgot that.
yeah, and you know, it's like I've never watched Supernatural, and a lot of people talk about Supernatural being really good, and it's 15 seasons.
Well,
And
if
I
you
just-
started watching it back, my wife watched it and we watched it all the way through. And now it's like her comfort, like if she has it in the background or she's doing
Sure.
something, she wants to watch it, or she just wants to watch TV, doesn't have anything, she'll watch it. But
Yeah, it's like watching Law and Order.
it's a good show, but yeah, you're right. If you go back to watch it now,
I mean,
Good luck.
it's something where you know I may do it just because I'm like, well, what else am I going to watch right now? Oh, I got 15 seasons of that I can watch. You know, like that's the like I went back and I watched all of Star Trek Deep Space Nine. That was 7 seasons, and it was like 26 episode seasons. So you know, like compared to even like Law and Order being 22 episode seasons, you've had like 2 extra seasons in there because of all the extra episodes in a season.
how long were the episodes?
Hour longs.
Yeah, that gets you too. That's what took me so long to watch Jessica Jones. They were like 50 minutes, and there's 2 seasons, and they were what 13 episodes a season. So I was like, yeah.
Were they 13? I thought they were
think
10. I thought they
No,
were
I think it was 13. Yeah.
It might have been. It might have been. So the beauty apparently ended, and I didn't realize that it did because it was one of the worst finales for a season I think I've ever watched. They spent half of the.
I'm
No,
sorry.
what
I
did
was
he
like, he said he sent you the pic to your Facebook DM. He said, take a look and show me later.
Oh, okay, I can do that. I'll forward it over to you afterwards.
Yes, I want to see it too. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No. So it had like one of the worst season finales I think I've ever watched.
Which one did?
The Beauty.
The
And
Beauty. Okay.
And it isn't like it was bad. It's just it felt like, okay, so I'll be back next week. No.
Was that the series or the season finale?
I don't know if it's been picked up for a second season. So you know, with the way that it started with a bang, and I mean, like people exploding after having sex, I was kind of like, oh, this show's getting renewed. And then by the end, I'm like, I'm not so sure.
Speaking of renewed, what happened to our wrestling show on Netflix? They picked it up.
The Wrestlers or Heels?
Heels. They picked up Heels. Are we ever going to get another season? Have you heard
No.
anything?
No, it's the same thing that Netflix does with everything else. They picked it up. Everybody was told, hey, we'll pick it up, and if it does well, we can bring it back for more. And then they were just like, yeah, we picked up seasons 1 and 2. We're good. You know, kind of like they did with Evil, kind of like they did with the shows that we both liked on Found.
Found
You know,
in
the Irrational.
Rational. Love
Yeah,
those shows, man.
the Irrational was really good,
Yes.
and it had that interlining story that they never got to finish out because of all of it. You know, it's kind of like Brilliant Minds. Brilliant Minds, I think, has gone 14 or 15 episodes this season, and I'm like, does this have a 22 episode season? Did I miss the season finale and didn't know it? Like, what is happening here? And I just don't know.
All right.
You
Cool.
know, in tracker news, I sent you something on Instagram. Chris Jericho will be guest starring on Tracker next Sunday. So,
Oh wow,
yeah. He said he plays the bad guy of the week.
that's gonna be awesome. I am looking forward to that. Then
It is interesting to have a Chris Jericho sighting when we haven't had one in wrestling for almost a year now. I've now watched the first 3 episodes of the show Marshals, which is a continuation of Yellowstone with the son, who used to be like an Army Ranger who basically is trying to figure out what he wants to do next in his life. So he gets talked into becoming a U.S. deputy marshal. And it's pretty action oriented for one of these shows where they normally aren't. You know, like every so often it'll be like someone shot JR, but it's like that's about all the action you get. Exactly. But then in the same universe, there's a new show that has Kurt Russell and Michelle Pfeiffer in it called The Madison. And the first episodes dropped this weekend on Paramount.
is that Kurt Russell and his son Wyatt Russell? Is that? I know
No, that's
son.
Monarch, which is funny
Okay.
because they both start with M and they're both like one-word names. This is called The Madison, and it's basically Kurt Russell plays a well-to-do father from New York City who just happens to be on a fishing trip with his brother in like Idaho or some shit. And what ends up happening and this is okay. I'm going to tell you, I've only watched 1 episode because I don't know if I can get into this because of how they started. They tell me the 2 big names on the show, Michelle Pfeiffer, Kurt Russell, right? So what the fuck do? Kurt Russell dies in the first episode. So he'll be in the show. And sorry for the spoiler there, everybody, but I think it's better that I get that out of the way for you. Because otherwise you might go into it like I did. I think this is why they dropped 3 episodes at the first drop, was because they literally were like, by us killing off Kurt Russell, if we don't show like how he's still in the show afterwards, people might not want to watch this. And it basically becomes this family from New York who has everything that they could ever ask for, and I mean everything they could ever ask for, moves out to like Montana where he had this little cabin, and now Michelle Pfeiffer finds like his diary of these are all the places that I really wish I could have taken my wife, and she wouldn't go because there wasn't indoor plumbing, or there wasn't, you know, a Ritz-Carlton, or there was, you know, that kind of stuff. And now she just suddenly goes, I'm going to take this book and I'm going to do every single thing in this book before I die.
Gotcha.
So it's got an interesting concept. I just don't think it's an interesting concept for me. Because I was expecting to see Kurt Russell have confrontational moments like you know, Kevin Costner did in Yellowstone, or Billy Bob Thornton does in Landman. And I just don't think we're going to get that in this series. So I think this is one that is probably going to be one of those relationship building between the women shows.
Okay.
You know, and I just now at the same time, I have thoroughly enjoyed the first 4 episodes of the new Scrubs.
Oh yeah,
it's been excellent. Now I am a little bit tired of my YouTube feed giving me interviews with all of them, and the only reason why I am at this point is because they say the exact same fucking thing in every interview. Because every interviewer is like, Zach, Donald, we didn't know that you guys were best friends in real life. And of course, they answer the question the same way every time. And they really are. I mean, he's the godfather to at least one of Donald Faison's children. So, you know, but
And they make commercials together all the damn time. Shut the fuck up.
yeah, but you know, they did the same thing with Suits characters. You know, they did the Harvey Specter and Mike Ross characters doing T-Mobile commercials before they even did the Scrubs guys. I wonder how much they've actually improved the subscription rate of people with T-Mobile because they're actually best friends. It'd be interesting to see the numbers based on how likable those two guys are.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like when I worked at AT&T way back in the day, and it became Suncom Wireless, which was the worst thing in terms of my work history, like ever.
AT&T?
Yeah, it became Singular everywhere else in the country except for North Carolina.
No, I'm Singular because it was Bell South. Then
Well,
it was Singular.
Singular still had service here, but AT&T, when it got bought by Singular, became Suncom here and became AT&T everywhere else.
Oh.
Or yeah, Singular. It became Singular everywhere else. But I remember they were like, we're gonna have a brand new spokesperson. We're gonna have TV commercials in primetime spots, and you know who it's gonna be? It's gonna be one of the most likable figures ever. And I'm sitting there and I'm like, and I didn't actually say this, but I did say someone. I just don't remember who it was because it was 25 years ago or whatever. I was like, is it the guys from Scrubs? You know, because they're likable, right? You believe them when they tell you something. No, it was Harry Connick fucking Jr. And I'm like, who the fuck cares about him?
That's fucked up, Rob. Who the fuck cares about him?
They were like, we've got this great spokesperson. I'm like, he's not even an actor. He's a fucking musician.
He can sing the jingle.
Well, and I don't, you know, and I think they had "We're Suncom and We Get It" as the jingle, and he never sang it. Like,
well,
you hire a fucking singer and you don't even have him sing? Nope, that'll be another $150,000 to be your spokesperson.
Probably.
But yeah, the new Scrubs has been really good. I've thoroughly enjoyed it. I've also really been enjoying Shrinking this season. The episodes where Michael J. Fox shows up. The interesting thing about it, because you know he obviously has Parkinson's and Harrison Ford's character plays. Stop it! You are a horrible. You get mad at me for saying dumb shit.
Because last week I was having flashbacks from last week when you said that. I'm like, why? They're just.
Why does it make? So one of the things about this most recent episode is that apparently people with Parkinson's, when they're on their medications, might start having hallucinations of things.
Oh wow, really?
Yeah, it happens apparently in rare cases, but it happens. And Harrison Ford's character just randomly sees this guy Jerry, played by Michael J. Fox, eating a piece of Harrison Ford's birthday cake just in a random room in his house. And he's like, Jerry, I didn't even know you were here. And he's like, oh, well, you know, I just figured I'd have some birthday cake or whatever. And he's sitting there eating the cake. And then all of a sudden, Harrison Ford's girlfriend character walks in and she goes, who are you talking to? And he goes, oh, I'm just talking to Jerry. And he points over and there's no one there. And she goes, we got to set up a neurologist appointment for you, you know? And he's like, oh, we're there now. And since that moment of the show, we never know if even when he first met Jerry, if he really existed or not. It's almost like a Sixth Sense moment of, is he just making this guy up?
I see dead people.
I see Parkinson's. Like,
you gotta.
So anyway, this past episode, you actually see the janitor from Scrubs sitting between Harrison Ford and Michael J. Fox, and they're all conversing with each other. So it's not like Jerry's just in his imagination this time. He does exist, but Harrison Ford sometimes hallucinates him.
Okay.
And in fact, the one time he's having a conversation with Jerry, supposedly in real life, you didn't even know it. He's sitting there, and Jerry's like, so you're saying that you saw me eating birthday cake and that was it? And he's like, oh, yeah. And he's like, was I naked? And he's like, no, why would you be naked? And he's like, I thought it was a sex dream or something.
You think I'm sexy?
Honey, you don't need batteries. Just oh my god, now you got me doing it.
Mm-hmm.
Just use my finger. Okay, it's a horrible disease, and I hope at some point they find a cure. Because I actually worry. I know that one of my great aunts actually had it, so it's not a fun thing to go through. And for Michael J. Fox to have been going through it for as long as he has is just insane. I mean, he's been going through it since his like late 20s.
Yeah, because what it started in Spin City, right?
Before that, he actually said that he would get little tremors when he was doing things like Back to the Future.
Okay.
It's just what he would do. And if you go back and watch the movie, anytime he's got his hand in his pocket, it's because he's afraid that it's going to show that he's shaking.
Oh, damn.
Yeah. So that was his trick for years until it started to become debilitating. But yeah, Spin City was when he actually stopped taking the medication all the time because it's got law of diminishing result and everything. Other than that, I saw the new Watson today. It's a fine episode for what it was. You'll like it.
Yeah, because I think the cannibals, but at the end of that one, Shimwell went looking for Sherlock. I'm like, come on.
So they bring in Shidwell's replacement, and you're not gonna like her. She's an angry woman.
I like Shimwell. I was
It
kind of
reminds
getting
me
used.
so you never actually watched Scrubs, right?
Mm-mm.
So there was a female nurse on the show named Laverne, and she was a large black woman, and she'd basically be the oh no you didn't person, right?
Oh,
And then they were writing Laverne off the show, so they had her die, right?
Oh shit.
Well, it's I mean, that's something that happens in Scrubs in every episode is someone dies, and like they still somehow make the episode funny, but they have her die off in the episode, like off screen or whatever. I don't think that they ever diagnosed her or whatever. But then people wanted the actress back so much that they brought her back as her sister Shirley. So there was a Laverne and Shirley joke that if you weren't actually paying attention, you never would have noticed.
That is funny.
It's hilarious.
Did she wear L on her clothes?
I think she had a name tag.
Oh, that's funny.
Mm-hmm. All right, Tino, we've probably got a lot of wrestling stuff to get through. And we're already at the 43-minute mark. So let's go ahead and move on to some of this stuff. The first thing we should talk about is NXT PLEs for the time being will now be on the WWE YouTube channel.
So why are they taking them off Peacock? Is that deal up?
Yes, the Peacock deal is now officially over. The last show was what was it? Deadline?
This last one, yeah.
Vengeance Day. Vengeance Day was the last one. And Shawn Michaels posted it on his social media by saying, well, guys, I guess I'm going to have to learn how to figure out getting on YouTube because starting with Stand and Deliver, we will be on YouTube showing the PLEs for the time being.
So what about the shows like, the weekly shows like Raw and, SmackDown and, the replays and NXT?
So I think so if you look, the SmackDown replays have always been about a month behind on Peacock. And I think that's because that's their deal with USA. So I think
now
Peacock, I think USA has a deal with Peacock, which allows them, as long as it's a month behind, they are going to at least have SmackDown. I don't know about the other ones. I have a feeling that you're going to start seeing a lot more of the WWE content on the YouTube channel, at least for the time being.
and I'll start charging for the YouTube channel.
I don't.
You know what I
I
mean?
don't think so. As long as it's just NXT. And the reason why I say that is because I think, because right now the AAA shows that they've been broadcasting on WWE's YouTube channel, they haven't charged anything for those. And I don't think they need to, because the amount of viewership they're getting is probably netting them a pretty good amount of money from live viewings.
Yeah.
I think it's a good move for them because as of right now, we've been complaining about so much WWE product on so many different things that you got to figure out how to watch them, that I think that this one actually kind of like at least eases some of it, because you can always watch WWE content on WWE on YouTube. So like, as long as you knew the YouTube channel was there, you can find it.
Yeah. Then it's I had to go through the channel, like even to find like the vault or whatever, because I wanted, just to see if I want to watch something old. I was just seeing where everything was, and you got to dig through that to find it, but it's there.
You know what it really is going to do, and a lot of people aren't going to like this in WWE, but it's going to happen, is a lot more people are going to figure out how to use a VPN. Because I mean, me using Proton VPN on times when I miss SmackDown Live because I don't have cable, so I don't have USA. Like I have a way of watching it live that I watch, but if I can't for whatever reason, I turn on the VPN and I watch it on Netflix, because I can say I'm in the Netherlands. And that's where everything WWE is, except in the US. So, I mean, like, figuring that out, you're just able to point and click on what you want, and you just go. And now Netflix has figured out that since I watch it, if I'm saying that I'm in the Netherlands, it automatically tells me a new episode of SmackDown's available.
On your regular Netflix?
No.
Oh.
No, it blocks it on the regular Netflix. It just thinks I'm an international traveler all the time.
Wow.
Yeah, so right now, any new PLE is going to be on WWE's YouTube. I think they have a certain amount of time that they can continue to show the NXT PLEs on Peacock, but it's only the ones that they already had, and that probably has an end date too. So I would
those past ones go to the YouTube channel too. You know what I mean? Into the vault.
Don't know. It could be that, or some of the old WWE stuff has been showing up on Netflix in the US now. So
see, they were dumb when they should have never let go of the WWE network.
Dude, we can talk about that all we want to, but WWE was always about making that money when it came to their broadcast rights. It was always going to turn to this.
Yeah. Right.
And it meant that their company didn't have to spend the money on figuring out how to run a network. So, in other wrestling news, Rizar from the Authors of Pain won his MMA debut in Bare Knuckle Fighting Club, BKFC. And afterwards, he got on the microphone, and considering I'd never heard AOP actually speak because Paul Ellering did all the speaking for them, I'm going to say he did pretty good. He basically said, yeah, this is for all those bitches that were talking about me being a WWE guy, and I just whooped that motherfucker's ass.
Well, there you go.
And you know what? That's pretty much all you got to say. That's all you have to say until you lose. So, all right, Tino. Other news? No, I don't really have any other news this week except for the results. So, I do have one more piece.
When did this happen?
So the week before the Royal Rumble, apparently it happened. Rey Mysterio had hurt his ribs, I guess, in a match with, I believe it was Grayson Waller. I think that's, or Austin Theory, one of those two. And still went through at the Royal Rumble, but has basically been held off TV since. Come to find out, he confirmed that he's got a fracture, at least a fractured rib. That the story wasn't really clear about that. One thing I don't really understand is the difference between when people say you broke something and you fractured something, because oftentimes, like when Sid Vicious had that weird snap that you sent me, the Deadlock Pro Wrestling, where they showed it like 19 times on WCW TV. This was not for the faint of heart. Do not watch it if you. When can I turn the TV back on? You've been showing it for 18 minutes. But awesome. the way his went like this, and then the foot was still over here like this. Like, they called that a fracture.
Let's see. Difference. And I'm gonna try to see if I can figure it out. Because I've always wondered that too. Between a
but yeah, so the reason why I'm asking is because, broken ribs, the fact that he wrestled with it, I can see why that would be bad. But what's the difference between a broken rib and a fractured rib?
All right, so it says there is no clinical difference between a fracture and a break. Both terms refer to a disruption in the structural integrity of a bone, ranging from small cracks to shattered pieces. While fractured is often preferred by doctors, they are used interchangeably to mean the same injury. So I guess it's saying it's the same. Fractures can be classified as simple or clean. So I don't know.
I mean, a break in the leg can be simple or clean.
It said it's no difference. A common myth is that a fracture is just a crack and a break is separated. However, that is incorrect. So, wow. Okay.
I was today years old.
Me too.
Folks, you're being educated on the Potsy and Tino show this week. So get well soon, Rey Mysterio. It does seem like ever since he returned to WWE, he has had a lot more of these nagging injuries.
And I hate to say it, it's just I think he's getting old, and I think his bump card is starting to.
Yeah, you can only be lawn darted so many times.
Yeah, dude, and all the stuff he does, with the flying and the luchador and the flip and all the flips and all that stuff.
The flips and the flop.
It catches up to you. Yeah, it catches up.
I watched the Cody and Undertaker interview from Cody's perspective, because they both did one. And one of the things that Cody actually was talking about on it was how he really wants WWE to get back to doing house shows. And he said, I know a lot of people don't want them back because they really like this really short schedule that we have of doing like 2 shows a week, and that's pretty much it. But I feel like
those reps you're getting.
Well, and that's why I think people like Trick Williams and Dominic Mysterio are getting so much better, is because they're doing AAA, they're doing NXT, they're doing SmackDown, they're doing Raw. Like they'll show up on all of the shows, and they're getting reps every week on those shows. Whereas, and let's be honest, with as big as the fucking rosters are, WWE and AEW, the fact that they don't have more wrestling on their shows on a weekly basis is fucking garbage. Because how many weeks in a row does someone go before they finally go, hey, you know what? We haven't seen Gunther in the ring in a while. Go ahead and put him in the ring this week.
Yep.
But the Undertaker actually said, I feel like there's a common misconception between what today's wrestling looks like and what old school looked like, because we used to work 7 days a week, or we'd work 6 days a week and we get 1 day off, or we'd work 6 days a week and have to work 2 shows on Sunday, which is something Vince McMahon was notorious for doing. And he admitted there is a happy medium. It's probably doing, if you're on Raw, you're doing house shows Saturday, Sunday, having Raw Monday. If you're on SmackDown, you're doing SmackDown, and then you're having house shows on Saturday and Sunday, and then you're off, Tuesday through or Monday through every week, and it probably is the most likely way to get the reps to keep yourself in ring shape, because you do have to callous yourself up to be able to not get injured on a regular basis. Mick Foley has gone on record as saying, with all the things that he broke and everything else, the times that he was actually the most scared, like when Vader power bombed him off the ring apron onto the floor, onto the steel thing, he was like, if there was one bump that I thought that was going to kill me, it was that. But I had taken so many bumps on my back at that point that I just got up.
Yeah, and it builds up the calluses, but it also, it's weird, right? It also
there's so many positives as well as negatives to it.
Yeah,
because you're building timing, you're building reputation, you're actually getting to see crowd reaction because you're playing around with things more often.
But the more you wrestle, the more of a chance you're gonna get hurt, and they can take you out for months. You know what I mean? So I think, yeah, you're right. There's pros and cons to it.
Well, and we talk about all the time about how WWE's kind of gotten to like a safe style, and yet you still, every 3 months you're sitting there going, shit, Seth Rollins is out again. Oh shit. Now you got Braun Breaker out. Now you got Bronson Reed out.
Bronson. I mean, that was back to back.
That was back to back. That was all three of them. Seth, Braun, and
I'm saying, well, Seth was out for a while. When I say back to back, it was like, it seemed like Braun went out, and then like the next week or 2 weeks after, Bronson was out. They were like real close together.
They were, but I mean, all of them have happened since.
Yeah.
Well, I guess Seth was probably October.
Yeah.
Something like that. Yeah. But yeah, get well soon. All of those wrestlers. Obviously, it looks like they're trying to do something with Seth. I don't know if he's going to be cleared to wrestle at WrestleMania even now. But yeah. Let me pull up my Raw stuff. Here we go. I've got Raw from March 9.
Yeah.
Which obviously was last week while we were half on the air. So we had Penta, who just won the Intercontinental title the week before, already having a match supposedly against original El Grande Americano. We also had Obafemi versus Rusev, and we had the number one contenders gauntlet match for the women to determine the number one contender for the Intercontinental title. So we didn't have to have AJ Lee on the show because we had 6 other women fighting for a chance to fight her.
But the belt was there.
Because I want to point. What's that? Yes, the belt was there. I also want to point out that there is a thing going online right now where CM Punk is talking about how Roman has only shown up for 3 days so far this year. Do you know how many days AJ Lee has shown up in WWE programming so far this year?
Twice.
3 times. The exact same amount as Roman Reigns.
That's funny.
It kind of is. Adam Pearce has a conversation with Seth Rollins. By the way, this was the stupidest opening to Monday Night Raw ever. Well, and what was that one that was like 360 pounds doing in the ring, flopping around with the rest of them? Like you're trying to say we're all Seth Rollins, but that guy obviously was not Seth Rollins.
You get almost out of there.
Well, you know, I'm joking that Omos should have actually been the one the final day to actually reveal himself. Because everyone would have been like, wait a second. But this was literally the dumbest opening to Monday Night Raw like ever. It was like all those guys getting in the ring and someone backstage, probably Bruce Pritchard, sitting there going, Chris, go ahead and tell these guys to do something. And all right, boss. Hey, guys, start moving around in the ring. What do they want us to do? I don't know. Just fucking move around in the ring. Like that's what they did. They literally just they looked like a 3-card Monty guy with 9 hands. That's what it looked like. Where's the ball under all this? That's really.
That's exactly
and then it just got down to whoop. It's me. I'm right in the middle. Yay! And this somehow set up because LA Knight hit because Logan Paul and Austin Theory interrupted. They cut a generic heel promo, which brought LA Knight to the ring, followed by the Usos. My favorite line in all of this moment was Adam Pearce when he said, "Seth, we've known each other a long time, and I don't need that."
That was funny.
All right, so we go backstage. We start having our fun. Again, LA Knight and the Usos being involved with the Vision is really just lackluster booking. That's just boring the shit out of me right now. And while I was enjoying the Attitude Era highlight moments of LA Knight driving the ambulance a week ago, on this episode, just seeing him be generic babyface guy who likely is going to get beat by the heels, it's just no fun.
Yeah.
You know, like what made Austin so cool was he would do that moment with the ambulance, and then later you'd see him just randomly on the side of the road having the ambulance parked, those two guys being handcuffed in the back somewhere, and him drinking a beer being like, and that's the bottom line. Because, by the way, it is 316 day, Tino.
Oh, shit.
Except,
tonight.
So apparently WWE does have an appreciation night planned with no Stone Cold Steve Austin.
And tomorrow night is Booker T appreciation. I'm so excited.
Now, he'll at least be there.
Yeah.
Now, did you see the video I sent you of Booker T's commentary in WWE 2K26?
No, I hadn't watched that one yet.
It's so good. He's like, we just witnessed a man getting tossed off a building. That's Bill Goldberg right there. He gonna hurt somebody. It's so good.
No water, just me.
I think that is in there, by the way.
Oh God.
All right. Number 1 contenders gauntlet match. The people. Go ahead.
But when Trick comes down, does he go? I like it.
Dude, so apparently this week, the CM Punk entrance, they went from just chanting CM Punk in the audience to the audience actually singing along with Cult of Personality.
In the game?
So they re-recorded that to then put it into the game. So I wouldn't be surprised if you suddenly get an alternate version of Joe Hendry's entrance music, or you get where Booker T, if he's on commentary during Trick Williams, he is doing that.
That's so funny.
Yeah. And there better be a shucky ducky quack quack moment in there.
Or if you can make what's her name go back down to NXT on the game, and when she hits the devil's kiss, he goes.
He does that. He does the But that's because I think you can pick who's commentating.
Oh shit! Okay, I can't wait to get this game.
So all right, the women's number 1 contender gauntlet match included Bayley, Asuka, Ivy Nile, Io Sky, Raquel Rodriguez, and Lyra Valkyria. It started with Io Sky and Lyra in what went on to be a solid singles match just between the two of them.
It's like
except, well, the two of them went like 26 minutes. And commentators were talking about specifically how this wear down is going to make it extremely difficult for either of them to win. And the very next person to come down, I gotta remember how it happened.
Yeah, wasn't it?
What's that?
Was it Raquel? No.
Bayley won. Bayley won the match.
Well, I know that, but you're talking about the order that they came down.
So I think so. It was Io beat her or beat Lyra.
Lyra, yeah.
Didn't she also beat Asuka? Because then Asuka, like,
Yeah, because she beat Asuka, and then
then Raquel came down.
no, I think no, she beat Asuka, and then what's her name? Asuka's sidekick, Kyrie Sane.
Kyrie Sane, yeah.
Then she cost Io.
Well,
Then
Io
she hit
still ended
Io.
up beating Raquel, but then she got beat like almost instantly by Ivy Nile, which I was,
That's what.
you know what? Asuka, I think, beat, no, Bailey beat Ivy Nile. Ivy Nile probably showed out almost as well as anybody else in the match for the first time ever. Like
I think you need to start pushing her.
I agree. I also think that what they saw from her should at least get us to start feeling that way. But Bailey outlasts her, which now I think means Bailey has a WrestleMania match, which she did not last year.
This week, I think they're fighting this week.
Oh, so Bailey's not going to have a WrestleMania match again.
Yeah, I think this is it this week.
Maybe it's next week. I mean, we do still have 5 weeks until Mania.
Yeah.
But again, I was very impressed with Ivy Nile. As the heel, she took advantage of the moment when Io got knocked out.
Yep. As she should have.
What's that?
As you should have.
Yeah. I mean, even a baby face in that moment's going to do the same thing. They're going to pin you, and then they're going to be like, sorry. You know? But again, yeah, okay, so here was the actual order. Io Sky pinned Valkyria, pinned Rodriguez, pinned, and then Ivy Nile pinned Sky, Bailey pinned Nile, and then Bailey pinned Asuka. So Asuka was the last one that Bailey beat. And Bleach Report gave it an A+. It was solid all the way around. I mean, Raquel's deficiencies in the ring didn't get seen. Ivy Nile actually got to show out a little bit. Asuka didn't look bad in defeat. And the only one that probably did is Lyra. And she still went like almost 30 minutes.
Yeah.
So next up, we had the Intercontinental title match. Let me see if there's anything backstage. I don't see anything. There must have been. Because I remember what you're thinking here. Go ahead.
It was Danhausen had gone up to the original.
He went up to original Americana.
He went to Chad Gable, and he was talking to him, and I guess it pissed him off. He goes, "Well, all right, you are." And I like the way he does it. You are cursed.
And he cursed him because Danhausen said that he should also have a mask so they could both have masks and be a tag team.
Yes, that's what it was. But here's my thing. We don't know what the curse was. All we know is fucking Ludwig's version of Americano came out. So whatever happened to Chad's version? He got cursed and then that was it?
Well, if you were paying really close attention, in the corner behind them, both sticking their heads out, was Ryo and Bravo.
Oh, so you think he got jumped?
He got jumped. And I wouldn't be surprised if tonight you see Americano backstage, the original Americano, talking to Adam Pearce and saying, "Did you look at the footage? They obviously jumped me in the back. Look right here. You can see the, almost like the when Fandango and what's his face were the Fashion Police putting the case together." Which I gotta say, I kind of missed that. Tyler Breeze, that's what that was. This led to non-original Americano versus Penta in his first title defense. But yes, the curse was hilarious. Penta defeats Americano. And Penta is about as over as anybody else in the WWE right now. And it's a natural overness. Like, it's just his energy when he comes down. Part of it, I think, is because when the music hits and he does the Cierro Miedo, like when he hits that, he's got his pyro going on or whatever, and it's doing something with it, right?
And his little walk down the aisle is cool. His little side step thing he does it almost like Razor Ramon back in the day.
Have you seen it is, but have you seen the video of the cow that does it?
The cow?
There's a cow that does that walk.
Oh my God, no. No. Good question, Michael Turner. He said, will Danhausen be in the ring and not backstage?
I don't care. I don't need to see him in the ring.
Because there's not really a place for him right now. And I think, and I've said this before, I think when he gets in the ring finally, it shouldn't be this comedic character that he's playing. Because we know that he has a very good, very nice, very evil. I think the very evil side needs to come out because he can wrestle.
He can. It's been a really long time since he did because Tony Khan kept him on the shelf for a year. But, you know, I really don't care if he does. Like, I would rather see him become the assistant general manager of NXT. I would love to see him cause Robert Stone so much shit. It'd be so much better than seeing him in the ring.
Maybe.
You know, but, you know, right now they're having fun with him and his curses, so who knows? Dominic Mysterio in-ring promo, and this brings out the entire Judgment Day.
I think this was 2 weeks too late.
I think it was 8 months too late. I think they've been teasing, and you know what this is? This is like when you get the start of a toothache, and you're like, "Oh, let me just not put anything cold on it for a while," and then you sit there and you let it go for a little while longer, and then you let it go for and it just keeps festering, and by the time you finally take care of it, it's so much worse than it should have been.
Yeah,
you know, and maybe some people disagree. Maybe they like this as long-term booking, but it's almost like at every moment that there was the possibility and the opportunity to make one of these two characters the biggest babyface in the company, they kept backing out of it.
I think they should have done it at the pay-per-view.
No, I'm okay with them doing it on Raw. I mean, they got it. They
got
the
night after that pay-per-view then.
Yeah, well,
Okay.
that's kind of when they did it a week after because they didn't have a PLE, and I'm okay with that.
Okay.
To your point, I think that if they had done it the night after Finn lost his match against CM Punk, it might have made more sense because Dom losing to Penta and getting mad that the other two weren't there for him. Just like Finn's in the right. Be a man. Do it yourself.
Yeah.
You said that's what you wanted, and then you wanted us to come down. Make up your goddamn mind. You know.
Happened.
So yeah, this felt a little deflated from where it should have been. I did find it funny that the girls started beating him up.
I was
laughing at it.
I'm surprised that the bobblehead jumped him. I thought the bobblehead
I wasn't at
was
this point because if you remember, Finn pushed him.
Oh yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
But the interesting thing that I saw, which is something that a true professional does, is when JD was putting that chair on top of Finn so that Dom could get ready for the frog splash. If you go back and watch it, Finn Balor sits there and he's trying to get to the ropes.
Yep.
It's not like these normal spots that you see all the time where everybody's just waiting for it. He's showing this isn't where I want to be right now. I need to get out of here, and it wasn't happening. And it just shows how much more that little bit extra really does mean to these moments. Yep. I just want to know why Finn Balor was wearing a shirt that was meant for Omos. Like it was like 4 times too big for him. He looked like he was wearing a smock.
I bet you I know what it was. He probably has some kind of protective something over.
Oh, maybe.
Because he put that chair in that frog splash. So that, if he'd worn something tight fitting, you'd have seen it. So he probably that's the only thing I can think of.
Yeah, I as a pro wrestler, like Heyman, I could see doing that when he takes the chair shot from Seth, but I don't think Finn would need body armor or anything to try to protect him unless he's nursing an injury already, which is possible. But he's got to get through Mania now because I would assume that's the match for Mania. It's him versus Dom. I mean, they could have added Jelly Roll to that match.
Keep going.
Obafemi versus Rusev. We talked about this match before we went on the air last week. I said it was probably going to be more 50-50 with a decisive ending. You said you hoped it would just be a squash, or you thought it was just going to be a squash. And we got more of the 50-50 with a squash ending. And now after seeing that, I wish that we had gotten what you wanted.
It would have just been better.
Or a double disqualification or a double count out finish so it's not over yet, because I have a feeling they're going to run it back tonight. I don't need it.
I think I'm still calling Oba for Brock. So I'm wondering if Brock starts coming out. You know what I mean?
Well, Brock has issued the open challenge.
Mm-hmm.
So I think over the next 5 weeks or so, we're going to see other people coming out and having a match against Brock Lesnar. And then the Monday before Mania, Obafemi is going to be the one to answer that. He's going to be like, we'll wait. We'll do it at Mania. And it won't be Brock doing that. It'll be Heyman.
I think it's an open challenge for Mania. I don't think it's like an open challenge on the Raw. It's for Mania. They want somebody to step up to Mania.
So, yes, but I don't see a 5-week buildup of that. Now, I could be wrong. So I think what they're like, because they weren't clear about the intentions here. We know it's an open challenge at Mania, but we don't know how we're going to get there, because Heyman said anybody can step up to it. So I could totally see a Ryo come out, F5, you're out. I could see Toxic come out, and you're out.
Yeah.
Johnny Gargano, you're out. You know?
I don't think he's going to be there 5 weeks in a row either. So, you know what I mean?
He's got either 4 or 5 of the Raws before Mania.
Oh, does he? Okay.
Yes. Roman has 4 of the 5. And he has at least 4 of the 5.
Okay.
Or if there's 6, whatever it is, it's like Brock might have 1 more than Roman does. Anyways. Show ends with CM Punk's music hitting, and then you get Uso.
But that was true too, because I think Jay, didn't he lose a match or something, and they were supposed to be leaving, and then I think it was Jackie Redmond was asking them what they thought about what Punk said about their family, and that's when they said, "No, we got something to say to Punk," and they stayed because they cut
the promo on the Vision. And then when they went backstage, that's when Redmond caught up. And he was like, Jackie O! Jackie O! He didn't actually call her Jackie O this time. I think he finally realized her name starts with an R. But but they did come out at the end of the night, because she had asked them, like, right after the first segment, like, how do you feel about that? It's like, well, we're on our way out. And then all of a sudden Jimmy's like, no, you know what? We got something to say.
Yep.
And we were waiting for Jackie Redmond to have that interview right there, and instead they just walked off. Which I don't mind. Jackie Redmond is one of the most beautiful women in the world, but show her some respect, guys. Put some respect on that name. So
keep
CM Punk
name out your fucking mouth.
I'd love to say her name all the time, but anyways, so Usos interrupt, and I don't remember exactly how it all like started, but it basically got to Punk started doing his running down of Roman. And he really started it in Seattle by saying, "Oh, you guys are actually still chanting for me. I was worried that this was going to be a 50-50 crowd here." And then the Usos music hit. They come down, and Jimmy starts it by saying, "Yo, dude, we're friends. Like, what you did was wrong. We want you to apologize." And by the way, Big Jim finally looked like someone that deserved the respect here. Because he kept having the microphone taken by Jay, and Jay be like, just apologize. And he'd be like, give that back.
He's being a big brother. He's like, calm down, I got this. He was trying to keep it
just
that shit was funny.
And it was like the little attack dog was Jey Uso. He's like, and it's like, shh. And it was, they were right. Like every time Jimmy Uso said, "Dude, we're not talking about Roman right here. We're talking about how you disrespected us, how you disrespected the rest of the family." Yeah. And then Punk just looks at him and goes, "Roman's been doing that for years. Look what he did to Dusty. Look what he's doing to you guys. Sitting there making you come out here and talk shit to your friend." And it's like, no, that's not what he's doing. You did this.
Yep.
Just recognize where you were wrong and say, "I'm sorry." The entire crowd started chanting, "Say you're sorry." Punk looks at the crowd. "I'm sorry." And he said it with like vitriol the first time. And then he calmed down a little bit more and he was like, "I'm sorry. I'm sorry Roman Reigns is a prick. I'm sorry Roman Reigns treats you guys like..." And at that moment, what happened?
Jimmy knocked his ass out.
Now, it went like he got way too many of those jabs in before Jimmy finally knocked him down. As soon as he raised his voice to say, "I'm sorry, Roman," that's when you hit him. Because then it feels like real life. Because in real life, first of all, in real life, we don't have microphones in those moments. But in real life, if you are in the wrong and you just won't admit it, and you don't realize how you're affecting the people that actually care about you, and you set them off, they're not waiting for the third jab. They're sitting there and just putting you on the floor. And then they're looking at you and being like, "We good?"
No, but he hit him, and Jim, I think Jay was he kind of pushed him back and made him. They both just got out of the ring. He wouldn't let, he never let Jay go. He's like, "Look, I did it. I knocked him out. He's down. Let's go." So I'm interested to see what's going to happen.
Well, this week, I have a feeling we're going to get Roman come out to the ring. He's going to go off. They're going to go out there, and they're going to talk about how he's disrespected them for so many years. And we're going to get that side of Roman where he actually apologizes.
So you think we're going
to babyface?
You think we're going to get into Bloodline again?
I don't know if we're going to get the Bloodline, but you know what I almost think could happen? You know how like WWE likes to do those strange bedfellows tag team matches? For those that don't know, that's two people that just either don't know each other or don't like each other. I almost think that they're going to put Roman on his ass too. And Roman and Punk are going to have to set aside their differences for one night only, like 2 weeks before Mania. And if we were trying to book great storyline,
tag team champs.
No.
Oh.
No tag team champs. None of that bullshit. But because we would only get it for one night only for real. Like we would only get one match because Roman's not going to put matches on every week. You know? But you do that, you have Roman and Punk have to team up. And whichever one of them takes the pin because they're not a tag team and they can't get along. That's going to be the rest of the anger between the two of them. If I was booking Mania, that's what I would do. Because that would get the Usos away from the Vision for a little while. It would be new. It would be different. It would have fire behind it because all of them would be cutting hot shit on it.
Turner said he don't think Roman will apologize.
I agree, but I would like to see all of them come up to, Jimmy and Jay come up to him and be like, "Yo, Us," like, and in fact, the way that I see this going is them going up and saying, "You did never apologize," and he goes, "What do I need to apologize for? I made you guys main eventers. I made you guys relevant. I made you the longest reigning tag team champions in WWE history. What do I have to apologize for?"
I could see that.
And that one I could actually see the direction that they go. But then I could see them putting him on his ass. And then we get that strange bedfellows tag team match.
Get it anyway.
But that's how that promo should go.
Okay.
Yeah, we agree. Punk wasn't right, but this isn't about Punk. This is about how you disrespected us.
Bitch. That's what
Hey,
they're talking about. Bitch.
Bitch. All right, so what did you think about that final promo and everything?
I thought it was good. I like when they knock them ass the fuck out. But see, I'm wondering too. So we always talk about baby faces and baby versus baby. Do you think they're pushing Punk, maybe not heel, but tweener? If they're going to keep, are they going to keep Roman the strong face and maybe push Punk as that edgier face? You know what I mean?
I think they're trying to keep it in the realm of realism at the moment, where there are no baby faces and heels. There's real people and there's real feelings. And as long as they do that, this is actually going to be more of a this is going to stay hot the entire way to Mania. If they try to push one as the good guy and one as the bad guy, I think it's going to lose steam because when they do that and it doesn't feel natural, it loses something.
Yeah.
So
okay.
Did you find NXT?
Yeah. I did
right,
find.
well,
I can't find the what do you call it, Bleacher Report one, but
well, I'll let you go ahead and run through it.
okay. Bitch, come back, bitch. That's my phone. All right, so NXT. So the first hour we had the North Americans champion Tatum Paxley. She kicked off the show, but she was immediately interrupted by Izzy Dane.
So we're keeping that. We're running that back.
Yep. So Dane attacked Paxley and stood over with the title. Then we had a three-way match with Shawn Legacy, Eli Knight, against Jasper Troy.
Do they not realize that name Eli Knight is too close to LA Knight?
Yep, I know. And so they defeated Jasper because Keanu Carver came out and whooped that trick. No, but he did. He jumped him and knocked him across the table.
They seem to like that Keanu Carver.
Yeah. Oh, he's a big boy. He came up from Evolve. I was wondering what they were going to do with him. And they just need to keep him and Jasper. That's good. Two big men. Birthright. I kind of dig that name. What do you think of that name?
It's better than the Vision.
Yeah. So the Birthright, Lexis King and Uriah Connors with Ariana and Stax defeated Tavion Heights and Charlie Dempsey. Now, before they went out to this match, I think Lexis asked, "Did you make the phone call?" And yeah, we made the phone call. He's on his way. So I didn't know what to expect, right?
So hold on a second. Did you see the tweet this week about why Stax is part of Birthright?
Because he's engaged to Ariana, who is Santino's daughter.
Well, that's the truth. But did you see how they wrote it in the tweet? So someone tweeted out, someone need to let Stax know that he's not a second generation wrestler. And the comment after that from just a random person was, "He's fucking Santino's daughter."
Ah,
and then Stacks retweeted the reply
no.
with the quote of like that. That's all it was.
That's funny. That's funny. That's funny. So you got this match going. We think,
What's the
Xavier.
phone call? What's the phone call?
That's the phone call. I'm getting to it.
I know.
So you go into the match. Dempsey and Tavion get knocked to the outside. And Dempsey's like hugging Tavion. All right, come on, we can do it. He looks up the ramp, and down the ramp comes Fit Finley and Sir
War
William.
Games.
As soon as he saw them, Tavion wanted to get back in the ring. Charlie grabbed him from behind and suplexed the shit out of him and threw him back in the ring. And he joins Birthright. Now, I don't know. I don't get it. Oh shit, Dad's here. I got to do it. You know what I mean? I don't understand why he was so hell bent and determined not to do it. Then he sees his dad in Finley and he decides to do it. Or was he already planning to do it? And that was just
it was all planned. That's why I did the phone call get made kind of thing. Here's the deal on this. You are talking about two of the dirtiest players in the game. You're talking about two of the meanest opponents you could possibly have when they were at their finest. So if you remember when the Blackpool Combat Club started in AEW, William Regal was not fun-loving War Games William Regal. He was evil William Regal again. And I like this because this almost feels like what AEW tried to do for like 5 years, where they were going to have Jake the Snake as a manager, and they were going to have Tully Blanchard as a manager, and they were going to have Arn Anderson as a manager. And here it works because you are also talking about two of the best trainers in the world when it comes to pro wrestling, and everybody knows it. The entire WWE Hall of Fame women's division is built around Fit Finley, and the entire NXT structure is built around William Regal. Like I'm getting tongue-tied just trying to talk about how good these two actually were and how neither one of them ever got to be world champion.
No. So this is a sidebar. So I was telling you earlier, I was on YouTube trying to find the vault, and I found an old WrestleMania. It's the one where there's one where Randy, John Cena, and Triple H were going for the belt. It's like WrestleMania 20 something. But they had William Regal, and he had the Dempsey hair. So I'm like, his hair was a Charlie Dempsey hair. And I was like,
it was when he became King Regal.
He looked but with his hair
fat.
like that. Huh? No, he was skinnier Regal. He was skinny. He was wearing the suits. It's when they did it was Batista against Umaga for the Bragging Supremacy.
Oh wow, that would have been like WrestleMania 25 or 26.
Yeah, so it was a skinny Regal, but he had the Dempsey hair. And so I was like, did you see that? It's got your name on it. That's what caught my attention.
Oh, it's one of those ones we don't mention. I wish we could just kick it out of here.
Yeah, so but
it's the Twitch comments that come in.
He looks so much like his dad. But I guess I'm interested to see if they manage them now or where this goes from now.
So, rumor is that going forward, the two of them are going to be at least backstage more often. So, I would assume that going forward, like I don't know if this has anything to do with the Road Dogg situation or anything like that, but Regal had basically been away from WWE except for like that moment where he came back and said to Sean and Hunter, "War Games," you know.
Wasn't he supposed to lay low because his son was there or something?
For the first year, but that ended like last January. But it was still like a nut. But I think he had health concerns, like because I remember at one point he said something along the lines of, "This is probably the last time you guys will see me healthy in the ring again." And it wasn't even while he was wrestling; it was just while he was like walking around. But he said it to like the NXT crowd. So, and that was the first go with NXT, not the second go with NXT. But I mean, on top of that, you know, David Finlay showed up in AEW last week, and Fit actually posted something on social media because David Finlay said something about why he didn't sign with WWE. And then all of a sudden Fit Finlay shows up on WWE television the following week. And he's basically like, well, maybe this is why your brother was always my favorite.
Damn. Damn. That's cold. So,
yeah.
Damn.
All right, what else did we have? We're already at an hour and 35. We still got to go through Revolution.
Tatum Paxley and Shiloh Hill formed an alliance to take down the Culling, which was funny. The Culling was trying to leave, and Tatum was looking for him, and she's like, "Yeah, they were going in the car." And Shiloh's like, "What?" He had his crowbar, so they go outside and they take the tires off of the Culling's car, but he's like, "I didn't know which car it was," so he had all these car alarms going off because he's disabled all these cars.
Did you hear about after the show the tweet from Shawn Michaels? Shawn Michaels is sitting there, and there's camera crew with him, and he's like on his phone typing something in, and Shiloh comes walking out. He's got all this like oil on him and everything, and he's like, "Hey, Shawn, what's going on?" And he's like, "Oh, you know, couldn't get my car to start." And he's like, "Oh, so what are you doing?" He's like, "Calling an Uber." And then you just see him. He's like, "Well, I'll see you next week." And he's like, "Hey, wait a second. Why are you so dirty?"
So Tony D appeared.
The little snippets that they do, man.
Yeah, they're funny. Tony D'Angelo appeared. We all knew what his phase 2 of his plan was, and he came out. He declared that he was coming for the NXT title. We knew that was coming.
It's about time. He's been in NXT for like 4 years.
Yep. Because people are going to start getting called up. Sol Ruka defeated Laney Reed because she's trying to say she wants to take care of Sol before the pay-per-view. In
a fire match. I did not know Laney Reed had that in her because I cannot stand her voice.
I know, right? Elio LaFleur tried to convince Robert Stone to give Shawn Legacy and Eli Knight a title shot for the Speed Championship.
Yeah, Elio LaFleur is the Speed champion right now.
Yep. After Stone refused, sympathizing that title shots are earned through a tournament. So he's like, no. Blake Monroe was interviewed backstage. She emphasized that Stand and Deliver will belong to her. And that is because I think that's back when
because tomorrow night Tatum got everything on the line.
Tatum was looking for Izzy, and she walked and as she walked through Blake, because she asked Blake, the announcer, if he had seen her, and Blake at the end, because Monroe's like, "You really need to change your name." But as Tatum walked off, that's when she said that she found Stand and Deliver will be hers, meaning I think she's going after Tatum for that title. The women's speed champion tournament, Ren Sinclair beat Thea Hale, and that was a good match. Robert Stone announced there would be a tournament to determine the new contenders for the NXT Tag Team titles. Tatum found Izzy, and they brawled backstage. Robert Stone announced that Paxley will face Dame for the NXT Women's North American title tonight in the side of steel cage.
Yeah, like they are, and we're only like 2 weeks away from Stand and Deliver, so like they are putting everything on this Houston show.
Yep. And then finally, last was Ricky Saints and Ethan Page beat Miles Bourne and Joe Hendry. There's a tag match, so they won that.
All right. Let's do SmackDown real quick. There's only a couple pieces of news that we really need to go through on that, I'm sure, right?
Smack it down.
Oh, wait, there it is. Nope, those are ticket prices. Where the hell is my SmackDown thing?
I don't know.
Did I close it? Oh, shit. I think I closed it. Hold on.
I believe in Joe Hendry. I believe in Joe Hendry.
See, now you're singing it right. All right, on SmackDown. On SmackDown, we started with Drew McIntyre wants payback. He gets really mad at Nick Aldis. Nick Aldis says, "You realize how long we've known each other, Drew, right?" And
Yeah,
of course,
he called him a corporate. What do you call him? Corporate stooge.
He called us, yeah. Ooh. Well, I mean, let's be real. The one thing that Nick Aldis really has not been is the corporate stooge. He just gets stooged off to people. This Aldis came out and said that McIntyre has nobody to blame but himself for losing the title. They argued about it, that what was fair. McIntyre got right in his face to demand he was right, or to make this right, which, you know, Cody had in his contract that he'd get no rematch, yet somehow he got a rematch. Drew has a rematch clause.
That's where I thought they were going to make it a 3-way. Remember, I said they were going to try to make it a 4-way. Yeah, but I guess not.
And I guess they could still. But I want to talk about the end, and unfortunately, it means that our time to talk about AEW is going to be really limited, and I really want to talk about that main event from that one. Right. Jacob Fatu's music hit, and he came down, and he said, "You know what I mean?" Because that's what he does. You know what I mean? His new shirt design was pretty cool. MFTs versus the Wyatt Six. Do we even care about this feud at this point?
Because every time he gets the fucking lantern back, they figure out how to stitch it.
But it's been like 12 months of like them teasing this, and this is like the second time they faced each other.
Yeah, I don't know.
And now there's rumors that Tama Tonga is going to go over to Raw to help Finn Balor with the Judgment Day because they were in Bullet Club together.
Probably because I think maybe that's why your boy's talking shit to him.
Yeah.
Shit stain. It's probably his time.
Well, you know, I would absolutely love it if Shit Stain Nakamura actually was the one to help out Finn Balor against the Judgment Day, because it would finally give Shinsuke Nakamura something to do, and I would stop calling him Shit Stain Nakamura.
And take Tama with him.
I'm okay with that too. Yeah. You know, when you're although the Judgment Day is down to just 2 guys and 3 girls, because Roxanne's still in the group, even though I don't think she was in the ring during the whole beatdown segment.
I don't think so either.
Weird. Jade Cargill versus Michin. Nice to see Jade Cargill finally have a match, but it's a non-title match. And who wins? In a C+ from Bleacher Report.
Now, I want to, we'll go back to it, but I want to point something out here. So after Michin lost, and Rhea, if you want to talk about her, well, she didn't really have anything, really. She came out and said something to Jade, chased her off. But she went back there to try and console Michin. And Michin's kind of like,
Which
and said something. Rhea tried to go back there to console Michin, said, and Michin's kind of like, get off me, da-da-da-da. And B-Fab said, hey, she's not herself. We need to go away, right? So they disappear. But later on, and I don't remember who it was. I think maybe it was during the Johnny Gargano and Alex Shelley, and then when Sabin came in the very, very back. And you need to go back and see. Did you see it?
This is what I'm talking about with the Bio and Bravo stuff. They're doing those little things from NXT now.
B-Fab was talking to Jade Cargill. So are they about to form something? Because it didn't like it was a heated argument. Jade was kind of
like that, or it could just be a very stern talking to. Oh, I forgot to talk about a show that I've been watching. I'll talk to you about it off the air because it's really weird. But
so I'm wondering, that's why I was like, something's going on with Jade. I wonder if B-Fab is going to.
Well, let's be real. Nothing that you see is off the table. If they feel like it works, they're going to keep moving with it. If they feel like it did, then it becomes a B-Fab fighting for a match against Jade.
Okay. I just saw that background. I
But
thought that was serious.
it totally could be. I mean, right now, I feel like a lot of the buildup on WrestleMania matches has been focused on the women's division this year, which is totally different than what it seems like. Are you watching our show?
No,
I just heard me coming through your speaker.
Huh.
Jade Cargill defeats Michin, as I mentioned. The Irresistible Forces versus Charlotte Flair and Alexa Bliss. For some reason, they bring the Bella twins out to be on commentary during this. What the fuck was that? It's not the thing falling.
They did.
It's not the thing falling because I never picked it back up last week.
That is fucking hilarious.
Something sounded like it popped, but it's not my light or anything, so I don't know. We got a no contest out of it because what happened, Tino?
The fucking Bellas jumped in the ring.
Why?
Well, because
Why
I
would
think
you ever jump into the ring when the Irresistible Forces are in the ring?
because outside, I think somehow Nia hit one of the Bellas by mistake. I think she was going for Charlotte. Charlotte moved and she hit one of the Bellas, and so they were going in, and to jump Nia, which was, you're right, dumb.
Yeah. Were they trying to make them baby faces again? Because by having Charlotte and Alexa lose, you instantly made yourself heels, or by making it a no contest.
And they went.
But didn't I tell you?
And remember, and they came out and said we're next. So we went and talked to Aldis. I'm like, really?
Didn't I tell you though that this is going to end up being like a multi-team tag match?
Probably, yeah.
And don't be surprised if it doesn't make WrestleMania and is actually one of like the SmackDown the night before matches.
That would piss me off, but yeah.
Well, remember what our match of the year was last year? It was that triple threat tables, ladders, and chairs match,
yep.
And it happened the week after WrestleMania, and we haven't seen the Street Profits like since.
All right,
Sami Zayn had another tense moment with Cody Rhodes. But Cody is just dog walking him backstage, man. He is sitting there and being like, "Yo, what the fuck, Sammy? Get out of my face!"
All right, get to the part I know you want to talk about.
Which part's that?
Who came up and talked to Sammy?
All right, we'll talk about it. So after Cody walks off, we get a moment with we get a moment. We get a moment. Where is it? I got it on here. Here it is. Boom! Where Aleister Black and Zelina Vega come up and basically do the Sean O'Haire moment from like 2004, when Sean O'Haire would come up and go, "I'm not telling you anything you don't already know."
Mm-hmm.
You remember that gimmick?
Yep.
Which, by the way, was a gimmick so far ahead of its time that now twice in the last 2 years, it is going to be how Sami Zayn turns heel. because Aleister Black is basically looking at Sami Zayn and doing exactly what Karrion Kross was doing. And I can't even say he's doing it better. I will say that so far I've dug it. I'm okay with it. But I, being a writer, know that if you plagiarize something, it's plagiarized. And this is plagiarized. It literally is Karrion Kross, just in a smaller body form, more tattoos. Can it be equally as good, Tino?
I don't know about all that.
I mean, do you now agree with me that it is that?
Yeah, and you're right. It's plagiarized.
It's like I feel somewhere in this, Triple H felt butthurt that Karrion Kross didn't accept the contract offer that they actually made to him. Because if you remember, Karrion Kross's final opponent was who?
Sami Zayn, wasn't it?
Boom. And he was working this character angle where he was doing his hair the same way as the person he was facing. Did the same thing with AJ Styles before him, and would tell them that maybe being who they are right now isn't who they're supposed to be. And if you listen to what Aleister Black basically said, it was the exact same thing. So I think somewhere along the line, when that contract offer came in and Karrion Kross, being a businessman, actually said, hey, show me the numbers that actually lead to why you offered me this contract. Because that's what he's always held to, is if my contract is worth this dollar amount, I want to see the factors that went into giving me that dollar amount. Because I know other people are making more. I know other people are making less. I want to know why mine was right here with this number. Which, by the way, is the way that everybody should be. And in interviews, Karrion Kross has now said that Triple H would not converse with him about it. It was suddenly, although his last contract was all with Triple H, when he was, I guess, head of talent relations, now he's head of creative. Now it was a bunch of corporate stooges calling him, and when he's like, "Why isn't Hunter calling me?" And then he asks these questions. They're like, "Why don't you call Hunter and ask?" And he's like, "Why should I call Hunter and ask?" So this really does feel like they knew they had a really good gimmick, and they're just putting it on someone who is much better with a darker Undertaker style gimmick.
Yeah.
And by the way, a dark, evil person doesn't have to be Undertaker-like. It can be Aleister Black. He can be the guy that makes deals with people backstage and all of a sudden like interferes in their matches so that they get the win and shit like that. Like there could be stuff like that going on. There's plenty of ways to show evil. I mean, we all watched the show Lucifer, right? So I don't know. I just felt like this is really plagiarized at this point. My mouse apparently is decided it doesn't have battery, so I'm plugging it in. But all right, ready to go to the next thing on it?
Yep.
All right. Damian Priest and R-Truth versus Los Garzas. Last week I said I didn't even realize Los Garzas were still under contract. By the way, I just want to go ahead and mention that Berto recently went on to Twitter to explain why he re-signed with them. So I guess maybe they weren't, or at least their contracts were coming up, and that's why they weren't being used. He basically said, I'm a dad. I have a family. Yes, I could probably go somewhere else like the Indies and make a lot less money to do what I love, but I'd much rather have the job security and everything of the contract that I signed.
Okay.
But the match ends with Damian Priest and R-Truth defeating Los Garzas. Is Damian Priest in the worst negative push after winning a world title out of anybody you've seen in the last 10 years?
And I'm wondering if he's hurt. I'm wondering if they're trying to keep him
on TV?
On TV, trying to keep him relevant until they can find something else for him. You know what I mean? Yeah, because out of sight, out of mind, and then they got to rebuild him.
I mean, but he is like the gay Undertaker, right?
I'm not saying that.
Well, that's what went online. You know, I know that I believe he's dating or married. I don't even know, but whatever the case might be, I just know that was like the thing that happened when he was coming out for his entrance at WrestleMania, and he had like an Undertaker style gear, and they were like not emo Undertaker or something. It was like I don't remember. I'm going to stop there with that one. Danhausen threw some shirts into the crowd during one of the breaks. Apparently, if you watched on international TV, you actually got to see him come out, and he's like, he's like, buy the shirts, and then he just started throwing them out to the crowd. By the way, as far as I know, he's in the top 10 already in merchandise sales since joining the company.
Well, he said that to Miz. He said that much to Miz. Miz like, you already have shirts? They're like, yes, they're selling already. He said something like they're selling.
Well, and on Monday, he told Original El Grande Americano he wanted masks, so he had more merch. Miz TV with a half a jar of Jelly Roll.
What?
I said a half a jar of Jelly Roll.
I heard you. What are you talking about?
He's only half the size he used to be, man.
Yeah.
So he's half a jar.
Let's go. That's how we're walking in 2 hours. You still got it.
So what is this going to lead to? Uh-oh.
What?
My screen. Hold on. I'll be right back. There we go. It went all over the place. I hit the wrong button. The A-lister immediately got mad and started insulting Jelly Roll. He tried to take credit for Jelly Roll getting himself in shape. Kit Wilson came out and said Jelly Roll is toxic and fat phobic.
They made Jelly Roll laugh.
Jelly Roll ended up punching out The Miz when he was aiming for Wilson. The segment was formulaic and not as funny as WWE thinks it is. Everything about it was forced and predictable. They gave it a D. This is going to lead to a quick match at WrestleMania setup. And I don't know if Jelly's going to be, unless he's still been going to the Performance Center and actually like training. I know that he uses the Performance Center to try to keep himself getting in shape. But I don't know about if ring shape has been something he's been doing. Because it's a little late in the game to go bringing him in to set up for WrestleMania.
I think because I was watching an interview, they're like, you think you can go for WrestleMania? I think he's always training.
Well, WWE is one of those companies where if someone famous says, hey, can I get a ring to set up so I can start wrestling? They'll send them a ring. Hell, they'll send him a talent that's not being used to go work him into shape.
Yes, I think you'd be surprised. Yeah.
All right.
Okay. What else?
Tiffany Stratton versus Kiana James.
Damn,
Stratton wins.
Yeah.
And not the best showing by Kiana James, but also not the best showing by Tiffany.
Mm-mm.
So I agree with the C+ rating. I think the right person went over, although obviously we've been talking about them pushing Kiana James. This obviously is to set up Tiffany versus Julia at WrestleMania or the Friday night before.
Yeah.
Jacob Fatu versus Trick Williams. When I was watching this match, I was like, how the fuck do they get through this match without making either one lose? That's literally what I was thinking the entire time. How do they get through this match without taking some of the shine away from either of these guys right now?
Well, bitch boy who quit at
yes,
the beginning
that's right.
of the
You
show,
didn't even mention Drew McIntyre quit earlier in the night.
came back and attacked Jacob.
And Nick Aldis, to his credit, sits there and goes, well, I guess he didn't really quit now, did he? So next week
This
on
is why I think that they can still make it a 4-way. Like you said, Drew never got his rematch, and Jacob wants Drew's ass.
Well,
so
then why can't you make it a 5-way? Because now Randy Orton's match with Trick got screwed up, and Jacob Fatu's match with Trick got screwed up.
Yeah.
Is Trick not ready for the main event of WrestleMania?
I take that back. Yeah, I think Trick is ready. I take
That's
that
what
back.
I'm saying. Like, could you imagine if they brought him up to the main roster before Royal Rumble, and he's already like when you're talking about main roster and how quickly you could be ready for the world title? Like, I would immediately say, hey, Cody, time for you to take a 4-month vacation, come back around SummerSlam, but we're gonna do an injury angle at Mania where you lose the title in a 5-way. You're gonna take 4 months off, and Trick Williams is gonna be the guy that you're gonna face at SummerSlam for the rematch for that title, and you're still gonna lose. That's how you make a star.
But we all know Randy's walking out. But we'll get to it. We'll get to it. Are we at the end yet?
Yeah. Because here we are at the contract signing, which, by the way, I want to point out that the internet has it wrong, Tino, because that is still a blue shirt on Randy Orton. They were talking about how Randy Orton... Well, it does say RKO everybody, but it was a royal blue shirt while Randy was happy-go-lucky and a baby face.
So there's a couple of things I want to point out in this contract.
Should we run through let's run through the segment.
Okay.
So the segment was the contract signing. Rhodes thanked Orton for being there for him when he came back to WWE before signing the contract. Randy signed next, but then grabbed the mic and stood in the corner for a moment. The Viper said he doesn't understand. Rhodes doesn't understand how much he needs he needs to win the WWE title. Rhodes assured him that he is prepared for the most dangerous version of Orton. After they hugged, Orton slammed Cody's head into the table and proceeded to beat him down and throw him out of the ring. Now I'm going to stop there because I want to point out that while what Randy was saying was
what I want to point out.
He was saying, I was prepared for Drew, and I was going to do, and I think it's because you sent it to me. Go ahead then.
No, you already said it. You took my
say the rest. Say the rest. Don't put dead air.
You took my thunder, dude. I was trying to get to it, but you got to take up all the glory.
Well, he was preparing for Drew, so what did he do?
That was part of what I wanted to say. I wanted to
say it was part of it, but the important part is the next part.
No, it's not. Because
okay.
I want to say something. You could see the change. He said, but you don't understand. This is important to me. I needed this. He kept trying. It wasn't supposed to be you. It was supposed to be Drew. And he was trying to get this out, but Cody, being a super white meat babyface, wouldn't let him. So you saw what I want to say is you saw the change when he's trying to say it and Cody wouldn't let him say it. You saw the change. He signed it,
and then we got the Viper.
Then we got the Viper. But what I'm saying is, you visit once. You saw. I don't know if you ever guys used to watch. I used to watch Vampire Diaries, right? And so they were vampires, and so they would turn off their humanity.
I hope so. In the Vampire Diaries,
they would turn off their humanity, but when they turned off their humanity, they were straight killers. They didn't have any feelings or anything for anybody. So
it's like Wolverine's Berserker Rage.
Yeah. So when Cody said that, Randy tried to tell him, Cody wouldn't listen. So you saw he turned off the humanity. Okay, I'm going back to 2009. Randy Orton. He signed that paper, and then we're off to the races. So I don't know.
So here's something I think in this entire scenario. Cody, being as selfish as he is, never considered how Randy was going to come into this match. Right?
He thought it was going to be good Randy, his buddy Randy. And Randy was trying to tell him.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah. And this is the version of Randy we wanted since he came back.
And did you hear them? The crowd was chanting for the punt. If he'd have punted him, Cody would have been off and might probably not through us, because when Randy punts somebody, they're out for a while. Well,
I'm hoping that we get a punt kick like this week, only to have where we get like Cody comes back 3 weeks later, so that way we can really build up this Randy Orton character, and we don't have to boo Cody for being a jerk to Sammy every week. Because I could almost see them using Sammy as the cannon fodder for Randy right now. And Randy, you know what? Here's the thing. I don't even see Randy as a heel here. I see Randy being a guy that understands what he needs to do to win the world championship.
I don't agree with the punt thing because, again, I always say, I go back to the 5-year-old me booking. If he punts Cody and
He's the
keeps
heel.
Cody off TV, no, Cody comes back to get his comeuppance. Well, that could work. He comes back and gets his comeuppance, and then Randy okay, that could work because Randy, you know what I'm saying? Because if whoever comes
I
out
already
on
put
top-
that together. Like
Yeah,
that was
whoever
I already
comes out
built that
on
to
top-
go.
whoever comes out on top before the pay-per-view is going to lose. So, yeah, he comes back, he beats the shit out of Randy, and then
You
Randy
still got
gets it.
some extra time, right?
Yeah.
But this would allow Sammy to sell the Viper being the heel if they really want to go that route. I don't think they need to. Just like the Punk and Roman thing, and I know we're over 2 hours and we haven't even talked about AEW.
But there's no, again, it's Randy. He turned heel. He busted Cody open, but the crowd was still cheering Randy. They're not going to let him be heel.
I agree. I agree. I think if you just stay the course, you have Randy come out. He does an interview next week. You keep Cody off TV because all the pictures show him just covered in blood, right? You send Randy out. Randy sits there and he goes, "I tried to warn you. When I told Sammy 2 weeks ago, you got to be selfish sometimes, and that's what allows you to be a 14-time world champion, wanting to be a 15-time world champion. This is how you do it. You have to listen to the voices. You have to go to those places. And of course, him saying something like you have to listen to the voices, the crowd's going to be like chanting voices, right?
Mhm.
Voices. Because guess what? Vegas is not a pro Cody town. They're not going to be pro Cody. It doesn't mean Cody's not going to walk out with the championship and void Randy's attempt again at a 15 time. But I could see them using Sammy as the cannon fodder for the next couple weeks, sitting there going, Randy, I know what you said, but did you really have to go that far? And he's like, well, I don't know, Sammy. How about we go out to the ring and I show you how far I have to go. And then you have that match. And then you have a little bit more. And then you have Aleister Black basically making fun of Sammy. So Sammy gets a win at WrestleMania against Aleister Black. But whatever the case might be, I think they've now set it up where they are specifically looking at Randy Cody as a singles match. I was with you before it. I still think that there is an avenue to get to what you're talking about. I even think you can add Trick Williams if you want to. I just don't think they're going to go that route. I don't think that I think that Triple H, the way that he thinks is that the main event of WrestleMania should either be a tag team match for the tag team titles or a world title match for one of the world titles. Now, I don't necessarily agree that it should be the men or the women. I think one should be one should be the other. And then you flip-flop them based on which angle is the best angle. But right now, the two men's angles are the best angles that they've got going on. So I understand them going two men's singles matches. And right now, if I had to book it today, I say that is the main event of night one. And then and depending on the buildup, I don't even say that you announce which one actually goes on Saturday or Sunday until you really feel like you look at the seats and what's selling and you go, okay, based on people thinking that Randy and Cody's going on Saturday, or based on a poll that we put out homes, that's going to determine which one we actually put over the other, and that's going to be the Sunday night main event. Because all along we've been thinking it's Punk and Roman,
Right.
But the way that they started this fire setup between Cody and Randy, Randy's in the position he is for a reason. Except what I'll say is this. If they decide they want to put Randy over, it's got to be the night two main event.
Yeah, probably.
Actually, no, because I still think Punk's actually going over Roman.
You think so?
So far, I think he is. Because they're going to make Roman look indestructible, and like you and I always say, whoever gets the last laugh loses.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
all right, I'm going to try to make this Evolution talk quick, okay?
Yes, I didn't see it at all, so it's all on you.
Well, I only saw about half of it.
I see we have Edge and Christian, or Cage and Coat, whatever they're calling themselves, and Ronda Rousey.
So their T-shirt, hold on, is hilarious. Their T-shirt now says Cage, or it says Cope and Cage, but it's got Cage crossed out down here, and it's got it written above.
Yeah.
And I think it's because it was always Edge and Christian. So Cage is like, no, I go first this time.
No.
I mean, he is that kind of person. All right. 21-man battle royal for the national championship, held currently by Ricochet, gets won by Jack Perry. And afterwards, he gives this speech as he's going out to his car. And his speech is basically saying, I've wanted this all my life. And I'm sitting there going, well, the national title's only been around for like 3 months.
Maybe he wanted a title, I know, but he was
TNT. Obviously, which is why Tony Khan created this extra one.
Well, he was TNT. He could have got that one back.
So before the whole show went on the air, Willow Nightingale versus Lena Cross happened on the 0 hour, and Willow Nightingale kept her TBS championship. Then the show started. I don't even want to talk about the AJ Boom match bullshit. National Championship Battle Royal, including
that went over from. I think I read that went from 0 hour into the main pay-per-view.
Yes, which I don't mind, by the way. I think that's a great way to get people to sit there who would think that they're going to get the end of a match and go, "Fuck, now I got to buy it." So Perry wins. Perry becomes the national champion. Maybe they'll do something with it now. I don't know. Then the next match on the card, which I guess is technically the first real match on the card, is FTR versus the Young Bucks for the tag team championships. FTR wins.
The fuck?
Yeah. FTR wins.
Wow.
Cage and Coke come out, grab the titles, and basically sit there and say, so this is what's really important to you. So we're going to take these from you. And then they turn around and the Young Bucks are just staring at them. And the Young Bucks are like, and like I said, I'm going to try to make this quick. So they drop the titles in the middle of the ring. They get out of the ring, and I don't know what the fuck's going on now.
Okay.
Match apparently got an A-. Next up was Toni Storm versus Marina Shafir. Remember, this is still the first hour of the pay-per-view.
Okay.
Toni Storm versus Marina Shafir, the 4-time former women's champion.
I did see something where she tried to put her in mother's milk and she bit her titty.
I mean, Jack Perry bit someone that was trying to do a tombstone pile driver to him in the dick.
Oh yeah.
So apparently that's okay in AEW.
And then she bit her foot too. I'm like, oh, that's nasty. She's barefoot. Yeah.
Toni Storm seems like she's into that kind of shit.
Mm.
Although if it's barefoot, like that worries me about like hepatitis. Yeah. Especially with the way people bleed in AEW, including Toni Storm during this match, by the way.
Did she?
After she wins, which by the way, no one else was allowed at ringside, but sitting at ringside was one Ronda Rousey.
Well, I guess a 4-horsewoman. That's right.
She jumps the barricade, comes into the ring.
Okay.
Basically goes, get in the ring, face me, and Toni Storm comes back down to the ring. I think Toni Storm spit in her face. I don't know. I think that's the video I saw. It could have just been she just looked at her funny and did her whole shtick that she does. Referee separated them, and Ronda Rousey on social media basically said, "I love any time I get to sit there and flip off a crowd at a wrestling show." Because she has an MMA fight on May 16th against Gina Carano, which was a fight that they had wanted to have for years, and it's being put on by Jake Paul's MVP Productions.
But is she all elite? Is that a one-off?
I think what this is going to do is it's going to lead to the possibility of a Ronda Rousey versus Toni Storm match, but I don't think it'll happen before the MMA fight.
Got it.
Next up, we had Jon Moxley versus Konosuke Takeshita. This is a title match for the Continental title.
Yeah.
Continental, because for whatever reason, Bleacher Report didn't put the title names. There are too many of them, I guess. I don't know. Moxley chokes out Takeshita, which kind of surprised me because I thought that this no time limit stipulation was going to work in Takeshita's favor, but Tony Khan basically said, nope, Moxley's my guy. But at the end of the match, after Moxley went to shake Takeshita's hand, Takeshita turned it down, looked down at himself, and then still wanted to go back another way. He looked like he was going to refuse it, but he did shake the hand and bow to him. Which I guess is going to lead to him getting pushed by Okada. But it also brought out a video played hyping the return of Will Ospreay before he appeared on stage. He ran to the ring right after Moxley. He took out all of the Death Riders single-handedly and sent them retreating through the crowd. A man who just had cervical spinal surgery took out the entire Death Riders.
Look, Tony.
By the way,
so he had Moxley while Ospreay was away. But whoa, Ospreay's back. Fuck you, Moxley.
Well, but hold on. This means that Ospreay took out Claudio Castagnoli as well as all of those other guys. He took out the CMLL champion, who's been a 2-time Ring of Honor champion and should have been WWE champion long ago. He took him out.
Oh, yeah.
After cervical spinal surgery.
Suspend your disbelief.
Apparently they made him bionic. Next up was Babes of Wrath versus Megan Bayne and Lena Cross. So Willow and Lena had worked 2 matches tonight.
Yeah.
And in this one, Megan Bayne and Lena Cross won the titles. So when I asked you who we expected to win, you said that, and there we go.
What's up with your girl? I noticed it last week. She's not
Harley didn't look as hot.
Yeah, what she did the last Wednesday, she wasn't wearing makeup, and then I think I saw a picture still of the pay-per-view. She wasn't wearing makeup. What is she going for? A natural look?
You know what? She was definitely still wearing makeup. I just don't think she was wearing like eyelashes or something. Because she
looked different.
Completely. It could be her doctors told her not to. It could be any number of things. Like if skin starts having an issue, you gotta take care of it, right? So if I had to guess, I haven't heard anything reported about it, but I did notice she didn't look like the Harley Cameron we knew.
She's not wearing makeup.
Well, and I mean, there we go, right? I have friends who, when they wear makeup versus when they don't, there is a massive difference. And I'm not saying that it's a bad thing, because most of them are still naturally beautiful.
Yes. But I was like, It's just weird when you used to seeing her look one way, and then you're like, "Who is that? Oh shit, that's Harley." Like you said, she wasn't.
I'm just glad
surprised.
she's not doing like the over makeup where suddenly she's got like those weird Shatara eyes from Thundercats or any of that bullshit. Because like
Ronda Rousey used to do.
Yes. Or any WWE woman at WrestleMania when they decide they're going to put their hair up like this and just make it like Bull Nakano bullshit. Like that is not attractive, ladies. And yes, you are still trying to be attractive as you come down to the ring. That's why Tiffany Stratton was a Barbie doll last year. Brody King versus Swerve Strickland.
Please tell me Brody won this match.
Nope.
God.
King survived several of Swerve's best shots before finally succumbing to the house call. Strickland told Prince Nana to get a cinder block from under the ring so he could hit the Swerve stomp, but he was interrupted by Kenny Omega from North Carolina. Man, I wish they'd go back to doing that.
Yeah, I do miss that one.
North
Carolina.
I really miss that one. Women's World Championship. Was this a best 2 out of 3 match?
Yes.
Okay. Because interestingly enough, in this match, the way that they went about it was they said Statlander is only like the third person to pin Tekla in AEW. And the way that Excalibur said it, he goes, she's only the third person to pin her, but that still doesn't mean that she wins the championship. And this is about when I started watching, because I didn't realize that I had access to it, and I did. So I started watching it. Solid match. These two have good chemistry. I don't think the build-up to Tekla deserved to become Women's World Champion the way that Chris Statlander's did. But maybe this now will prove me wrong. That's all I'll say about it. What's that?
I said, we'll see.
Yeah. Do you agree with me?
Yes.
Okay. Because the way you were going like this, I thought you were like, Rob just being a hater.
Tekla is too soon for her to be a champion.
I don't always agree with that, because I do think that there's sometimes that people come in off the indie scene, and when you bring them in because they were already working the other person on the indies, that it makes sense to have the one from the indies go over, because that's a shocking moment, right? But here, she'd been with the company for like 6 months, and they put her with Julia Hart and Sky Blue, who, Julia Hart, until she disappeared off TV for like 6 months, was a great TBS champion. But then she disappeared for 6 months, and Sky Blue was injured. When they all came back, it was like, hey, let's put Tekla with them. And what are we doing? Anyways, the Don Callis family versus Mystico and Jet Speed. Mystico is the Trios Championships, which, again, Bleacher Report decided not to put that on here. This is Okada, Kyle Fletcher, and Mark Strong.
I can't remember his name, but it was Aussie Open.
Mark
Davis. They used to be Aussie Open. Him and Kyle O'Reilly.
Him and Kyle Fletcher.
Kyle Fletcher. So you got me doing it now.
Yes, Kyle Fletcher and him used to be Aussie Open, which I completely forgot because of how good Kyle Fletcher's been doing. But Mark Davis, who was with Joe something's new name.
Yeah.
Because he was Joe something, but then he had a new name. What's that?
It was Jake something.
Jake something, not Joe something. Sorry. God. I even thought that I was going to get the name right because I got the last name right, but I don't remember what they changed his last name to. Doyle.
His real last
Doyle.
Yeah,
Jake
it's
Doyle.
his real last name.
Okay, so now I feel stupid twice. But so Jake Doyle came in, blew out his bicep or his tricep, And that was like 2 weeks into coming into AEW, which seems to be something that happens to a bunch of people that come into AEW, by the way.
Wardlow, too. Remember, he came back and then he was out again.
It goes back to what Rhea Ripley said a couple weeks ago, where she said, "My body's built to fight. Your body's built for the look."
For aesthetics. Yeah.
I think a lot of it, when you look at Wardlow, that's the case. But when you look at Okada, Kyle Fletcher, and Mark Davis versus Mike Bailey, Kevin Knight, and Mystico, this goes back to one of the things that Cody said to the Undertaker on his podcast, because Cody said, "Give me your team for like your not your Mount Rushmore, but like your team that you go into a bar fight with." And he said Dusty would ask Cody that all the time, and Cody would just give like 4 powerhouses, right? And Dusty would be like, "That's a shit team," and Cody's like, "Well, what, are you kidding? It's like 68 WWE championships between those 4 guys, you know?" And Dusty would be like, "Baby, the reason why that's a shit team is because you ain't got nobody that can lose." And he's like, "Oh," and we talk about it all the time. Who's eating the pin, right? So when you hear this match, Tino, Okada, Kyle Fletcher, Mark Davis versus Mike Bailey, Kevin Knight, and Mystico. Mystico, by the way, is a trios champion in CMLL. Who do you think won? Or did you already look?
I already know who won.
Oh, okay. But who would you have thought would eat the pin?
Mike Bailey.
Speedballs.
Speedballs.
Speedballs. By the way, it's time for this. Speedballs is the only AEW wrestler, when he's shown coming down to the ring, they do not show his record for the year. I want to point that out because I specifically looked for it when he went against Kyle Fletcher for Kyle Fletcher's championship this week. And then I went on their Instagram account when AEW posted some of the match, because that match was goddamn fire between the two of them. It was amazing. And yet we know who came out on top, Kyle Fletcher. But I specifically looked before that match began, and it showed that Kyle Fletcher was 2-0 in AEW singles matches this year. And Mike Bailey just said, part of the former trios champions. How are you gonna sit there and say we post the records? And so I asked, I was like, why is Speedball the only one? And in fact, I actually wrote, why is Speedballs the only one that doesn't get that? And of course I get comments. The comments are like, Google is your friend. And I'm like, yeah, but it's not going to matter anyway, because it's just going to show how many times he's lost this year.
Yeah.
Anyways, Mystico and Jet Speed win the Trios Championships.
And now
they in somewhat a surprising outcome, Knight, Bailey, and Mystico scored the win to become the new Trios champions, which basically means both Okada and Takeshita no longer have title belts. Let's keep going. Bandito versus Andrade. I didn't even know this was on the card. Andrade kept going outside the ring to sit there and get pictures with OnlyFans creators. Bandito actually was wearing pants for the match and actually tried to pull them off, like I said, CM Punk needed to at Chicago, because Andrade is doing that now, and Bandito gets stuck with them like halfway around his legs in one of the worst spots ever. The match was incredible. Okay, definitely high flying lucha libre, everything all across the sun. But Andrade pulling off to show his little red tighties, I didn't need that. I didn't need it at all. But Andrade defeats Bandito, and Bandito, by the way, is still your Ring of Honor World Champion. The Dogs versus Orange Cassidy, Roderick Strong, and Darby Allin. Have you already looked to see who won this match?
Review shit.
What now?
I said, how long is this pay-per-view? Jesus.
I think we're almost done.
No, who won? Roddy Strong, probably.
I think Orange actually got the win. It was Darby Allin, Orange Cassidy, and Roderick Strong that got the win. That's actually why I used the Roderick Strong entrance tonight for the show. It surprised me that only a week and a half after Fit Finley's kid shows up in AEW, they lose a match. But this is TK booking, right? Not TKO booking. TK booking.
It's like TK.
TK. And then your main event, the World Heavyweight Championship.
This is what you want to talk about.
Give me Texas Death, Tino.
I saw the results for that.
In LA, by the way. Give me Texas Death in LA.
Can't believe he lost, but they kept pushing that he's never lost a Texas Death match. So that should have told me that he was about to lose this Texas Death match.
So Tino's alluding to Hangman Adam Page loses his stipulation match. This match, Tino, started at like 11:50 at night.
God bless.
It went until like 12:40 in the morning.
It's an hour-long match.
It had everything.
Was it good?
Hold on. Let me get this. I think this one deserves one of these. It was excellent. If you like all the nastiness of a Texas Death Match, and there's sometimes I do. What I loved about it was this. This is not the kind of match that you expect MJF to ever be in, right? In fact, Hangman, early in the match, grabs a window from outside the ring. A fucking window. It had the borders around it. It had the glass. It had the little thing in the middle. He goes to bring it in the ring. MJF, stops him. So it ends up in the corner. MJF grabs it. He looks at the crowd and he goes, I'm not doing that indie shit, and takes it and just shatters it in the middle of the ring. And then throws the wood out of the ring. But that left all the glass in the middle of the ring. Wow. Immediately after that, he takes a back body drop from Hangman. Hangman then grabs his legs and drags him through it. Later on in the match, MJF gets the upper hand. There's still glass in the middle of the ring. He does the exact same thing to Hangman. So they both went through everything together. MJF then grabbed a broom from under the ring and swept it out of the ring.
Oh, that was nice of him.
It was really nice of him. There was still some of it, you're never going to get rid of all of that, especially if it was real glass, like Jack Perry likes to use, Cry Me a River. But but then the match continued. It went on forever. MJF had an entire piece of glass rubbed across his forehead. And when you talk Crimson Mask, this is like the entire face except for his big bulbous nose was covered in blood. He looked like a fucking Muppet because he looked like a red Muppet with an orange nose.
Oh my God.
It continued. He then got the upper hand and actually used a piece of glass and cut Hangman. So he's a Crimson Mask. You've heard me talk about how crazy ass of a move the Deadeye is when Hangman decides I'm going to jump into a table outside the ring with it. There were 2 of those.
He's trying to break his neck.
One of them was to Hangman.
Oh,
They
shit.
then went all the way up the ramp. They kept fighting. The two of them electrocuted each other through a soundboard, which, by the way, did not look as staged as a WWE one. Because
Well, we saw that when we were there. When the Peyton Royton Pace, whatever it is, the Will Hobbs. Remember they went to that table when we were at the pay-per-view? Yep.
yeah, except this one, when they went over, he was holding him for like a belly-to-belly suplex, and they both kind of went halfway through it.
Oh.
This is all while they had dog collars on, so they were attached to each other. They made their way back to the ring, and just as you thought Hangman was going to hit the buckshot lariat, MJF kicked him in the face, which had him turn around. When Hangman came off the ring apron, again, still hooked up to the chain, his face hit the camera and left the blood on the camera.
Oh, shit.
And he just immediately fell to the ground. And I don't know if he was legit knocked out. Because the way he hit that camera, it could have been a doink and done, right? He's out. Remsburg counts to 10. MJF wins the title, hops over the top rope because that's where the thing was on his neck. Screams at the referee to get it off of him. He's like, "Get this fucking thing off of me." Holds the title up. They put Hangman on a stretcher. And to add insult to injury, MJF pushes everybody away from the stretcher and climbs on top of Hangman and holds the title up. If Meltzer doesn't give this like 5.5 or more stars,
Damn.
And I didn't even talk about how MJF put a syringe into Hangman's mouth, right? But then put it all the way through and then pushed out whatever liquid was in it, which did nothing because you could see the liquid just squirt. The crowd was booing as Max grabbed the syringe from like some random box. Kind of looked like it was right out of a Resident Evil game kind of thing. Grabs the syringe out of the box, walks into the ring, and he's like, "Why are you booing me? You cheered when he did it."
Nice.
But him yelling, "I'm not doing that indie shit," and I didn't even mention Hangman did actually pull out the light bulbs, the light tubes, and hit MJF with those too. I'm not going to say it was tasteful because it was Texas Death, but I am going to say it lived up to its name. And I don't know how AEW goes from here because Tony Khan in the aftermath talked about how Hangman's statement of it's I win the title or I never go for the title again is just a verbal agreement, not even a handshake deal.
Right.
But it is pro wrestling, Tino. So there are plenty of...
He'll be able to go for it again.
Well, I think what he has to do, if they want to run this back, because it really did show that, and by the way, it was MJF's 30th birthday for the match. If they wanted to run it back, they've got to figure out a way for Hangman to come out on Wednesday night and get under MJF's skin so much that MJF demands that they have another match.
I can see that.
It's the only, I mean, otherwise, like, he's got to win a battle royal, but that would still mean that he's vying for a chance when he said, I will never go for that belt again. You know what I mean? So, I don't have anything else, and we've gone super long tonight, and I appreciate you being here with me for all this, partner. What you got?
Oh, you catch me on Blue Sky. You can catch me on the Insta SC Tino, TikTok Tino All Great Music. You can catch us on Facebook, Potsy and Tino Show, X for Potsy and Tino, and here each and every week on the Pots and Pans Network at 7 p.m. Give us a thumbs up, like, subscribe, buy our shit. Thanks to Adam's House Cat for the wrestling song. You still get it on iTunes for 99 cents. 99. Oh, vibrated. It's like, what the hell?
Mine's been doing that all night because my mom's on a cruise, so she's been texting, which is hilarious. Folks, you can find me on X at Potchak. You can find me on Instagram and just about everywhere else at either Rob Potchak or Rob Potsy Potchak. Recently, I've been streaming Resident Evil games on my Twitch. Started doing that with Resident Evil 9, trying to get some of the trophies and stuff from it. So if you want to check that out, it's Rob Potsy Potchak on Twitch. And otherwise, folks, Michael, Terrence, everybody else that was in the audience, Chris Barrett, if you were there, anybody else, thank you so much. Really appreciate it. We'll be here next week. We're going to try to keep it down to less than 2 hours. Hopefully that hour 30, hour to 45 mark that Tino's okay with. It went really long tonight, but we really got into a conversation about the TV shows and shit.
That's what happened. Yeah, that was my fault too, so I can't even be mad.
Folks, we love you. We'll see you next week. Thanks so much, and be nice to everybody. How about that? All right. Good night.
Night.
Ready? Yeah. Ownership, using the Potsy and Tino.
For the Potsy and Tino show.
Thanks for watching.